Stand up, New York Giant fans. What's going on? Baddog just stood up. What's going on, Baddog?
What's going on, man? Another week down. Another episode of Chris and the Baddog. What's going on, everybody? The weekend is upon us.
What's going on, everybody? We got some of the most loyal guys in here. Waterfly, Giants Alliance history guy, Dyer, Giants fan, sports expert, Afghanistan, Harrison Jolly, Nikki in the chat. Let me make sure my volume's down. Boyle's in here. Thank you to everybody for tuning in, guys. There is not a whole lot of news Baddog and myself were talking about before we went live. Obviously, you know, Baddog made his video on the PFF. I think we're all sick of PFF and their gradings with the New York Giants. They had us ranked at number 27 overall. But like you kind of said in your video, you can't really be that shocked by it. The Giants have won 4 games last year, 12 games in their last 3 seasons. The thing that's ironic to me, though, is PFF kind of gave the Giants a lot of credit for their draft class. They kind of gave the Giants a lot of credit for their free agent class, and they still have them ranked at 27. But at the end of the day, like you said in your video, rankings mean nothing. It's about going out there and producing and winning football games and time of possession. We talk about it all the time. That's what's going to win games. The Patriots, you know, I say it all the time. New England never has the most talented roster. When's the last time they had the most talented roster? And every year they win 12, 13, 14 games. So it's about executing, like you said.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, because, you know, rankings are just what somebody else thinks. It doesn't matter. I mean, you and I could do a rankings, and it means as much as PFF. It means absolutely nothing, because at the end of the day, you have to go out and execute. And it's up to the Giants to get these guys. But and again, you could go to different places. Someone that, you know, some media outlet that ranked the Giants 21st, and some will rank them 31st, and some will rank them 20th. And it doesn't really matter. I guess it's all a person's perspective on how good or bad the team really is on paper. But I've said it for years. I mean, when I first got into the TTC, I used to tell the Cowboys fans, you're paper champions, because they had such a great roster. And I would tell them, you're paper champions. You don't play that game on paper. You know, you play it on the field, and you don't win on the field. So I don't care what we look like on paper. Go out there and execute. You know, we can surprise people. I mean, nobody picked us to do much in 2007. Look what happened. You know,
yeah.
So it happens all the time. You know, it happens all the time. Teams come out of nowhere and surprise people. We just have to play good football. You play good football, you win games. That's it. Done.
Exactly. And Harrison Jolly, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, your thoughts on the new NBA format released today? I didn't see the new. I saw that they came out with the schedule. I wasn't aware. I think it's 8 games, but I've known that plus the playoffs. Is there something I didn't know about, Baddog?
I haven't been home most of the day, so I don't know. I just know the Lakers play the Clippers.
Yeah.
There's KP who let me know, and I'm just like, oh, that's a perfect game for Laker Dog to come back. But other than that, I don't know what the format is. I know that, you know, there's 8 teams that weren't invited there because they got no shot at the playoffs. And, you know, other than that, I don't know. I have to look at it, but I just got home maybe half an hour ago or so I haven't had a chance to look at it today. But I will.
Yeah, the same thing. Harrison, if there's something new, I have not gotten a chance to look at it. And Benjamin, like Baddog does on his channel during these shows, I will do the spin at the end of the show. Thank you so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much to everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it. And you know, we're gonna field a lot of your questions tonight because, like I said at the top of the show, it's not a lot of Giants news right now, but we're still trying to give you guys a show every week, knowing that there's not sports right now. Like
4 weeks away.
Yeah, like Harrison said, you got the NBA coming up July 30th. I think it was baseball July 24th.
Yeah, baseball, actually, I think spring training starts July 1st, if I'm not mistaken. It starts next week, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be
there awesome. You go. There you go. And Greg, man, thanks so much for love, man. I really appreciate it, man. He says, standing up for a brilly, 2 gents that have given me my Giants back. Now, man, thank you so much, man. Greg,
Greg.
Thank you for being such a great part of the community and being such a great supporter of both of ours. And yeah, we could talk briefly about that. I mean, it did come out officially on the same day that the NFL is talking about canceling the Hall of Fame game. Everybody's getting up in arms. Everybody's nervous. Are they going to start to cancel the season? Because the Hall of Fame game was August 6th. Yeah. And a lot of people are starting to say, is this going to be the beginning of them starting to cancel everything? And then the same day they come out and say, no, July 28th will be the starting training camp. So as of now, everything's going according to plan. Of course, things can change.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame game is not really a huge deal anyway. I don't think anybody even really plays in that game. I don't think any starters play. It's more of a recognition of the Hall of Famers. They've delayed the Hall of Fame induction. So just like they delayed the NBA draft. So, I mean, eventually they'll get to it. But the Hall of Fame game, I don't think that's really that big of a deal. I forgot who it was this year. There was a Dallas and Pittsburgh.
I can't. I think Pittsburgh was in it. I can't remember who was in it though.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't even about the game. It was just more so them starting to cancel things that people were getting nervous about. I see the Sports Critics in here. What's going on, Sports Critic? Go check him out. And like I said, we're going to start to field some of your questions. I saw somebody already ask, take your shirt off, and I got two. I will not be taking my shirt off. I saw somebody already ask Des Bryant. Edward Chan says,
"Is it an EDP stream all of a sudden?"
Des Bryant or Demaryius Thomas, wide receiver option. I saw that Kid Blue made a video on Des Bryant. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I'm not anticipating that. I know Des Bryant has the ties to Jason Garrett. I know he's a free agent, and he's the type of receiver I guess we could use, a tall guy, but I don't see that. Yeah, so is Demaryius. And Des Bryant's been out of the league now for 2 years. I'm not banking on that. If you're going to go for a Bryant, I think Martavis Bryant maybe makes a little more sense. He's younger. But of the big name guys, I'm sticking by Josh Gordon. I think he has the highest probability of coming to the New York Giants. But in the end, I don't think any of them do. But I'd be shocked if Des Bryant is a New York Giant.
Yeah, I can't see it happening. Like you said, he's been out of football for a couple of years, and he tore his Achilles last year. And he's not like he's a young guy anymore. Demaryius Thomas has been falling off for years. And yeah, Josh Gordon, I guess he would make the most sense at 29 years old, 6'3", 220. But again, ever since his first 2 seasons in Cleveland, I know he had a lot of personal problems. Everything declined on him too. There's just no receivers out there to be had. They all have their issues. The other one that's out there is Antonio Brown. He's a psychopath. You don't want that guy. You got rid of Beckham. There's no reason to bring Antonio Brown in here. At least Beckham wasn't a psychopath. He's just a weirdo. But if anything, Demaryius Thomas is a guy because I think he has the least amount of baggage. All those guys seem like they're coming back. Not to mention Des Bryant is he can be a locker room cancer. It happens. So, I think we're set with what we have. I think Josh Gordon would make the most sense of anything.
Yeah,
I can't see him coming here either.
I think he's the most logical. But I'm with you. I don't think they bring in any of them. Harrison, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, DM'd you the new NBA changes for after the show, guys. Well, I appreciate that, Harrison. I'll definitely give it a look. I had no idea what the changes are. I just know that the schedule came out, and we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, guys. But who's the best quarterback in the league? 1 Prescott, 2 Prescott, 3 Prescott. Maybe if you're just talking about the Dallas Cowboys, he's not even the best quarterback.
I would say 4, Pat Mahomes. I'd answer that.
Yeah, Dak Prescott, barely cracks the top 10. I think he's a fringe top 10.
He's between 10 and 12.
Yeah, I think he's. But I've had this argument before with people, and I can't debate that. Dak Prescott, you have to say he's right around the top 10.
Yeah.
But I think it is the weakest time since I've been watching football for the quarterback position. Because when you think about it, go back 10 years ago, you had Peyton Manning, you had Tom Brady in his prime, you had all Breeze in his prime, Rodgers in his prime. And now Eli. Roethlisberger. Yeah. And now it's kind of a changing of the guard. You've got a lot of younger quarterbacks that are coming in, the Baker Mayfields of the world, all the young quarterbacks that have been drafted.
Deshaun Watson's.
Yeah. So I think in a normal period, he's not a top 10 quarterback, but because it's such a weak position right now, he does just crack it.
Well, I did I turned on Gangrene David's stream last night, which was a good one. We had a good conversation. Dak Prescott's stats are very skewed. Okay. I got into an argument with a guy on my live stream, kept talking about how great Dak is 40 and 24 against this. And I said, well, it's the team. It's not Dak. But if you want to go that way, 2 things last year. Hey, Dak threw for almost 5,000 yards. You threw 30 touchdowns. Okay. Well, let's split it up. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys were 6-0 against 4 of the 5 worst teams in the league. 2-0 against the Giants, 2-0 against the Skins, beat the Lions, beat the Dolphins. 6 wins, 2-8 against the rest of the league. 30 touchdowns last season for Dak Prescott. 14 of those touchdowns were against the Giants and Redskins. So in the other 12 games, he threw 16 touchdowns. That's not good.
That's a great point. I had no idea. That's a great. Well, I know he beat up on us the first game. I remember calling that game.
Yeah, so he beats up on terrible teams. He gets some garbage stats in games that they're behind. And I said this in the stream last night. I think Dallas would be smart to let that guy walk. As a Giants fan, I want them to pay him.
Right.
Okay. But it's to me, don't be giving that guy $40 million. He's not worth it. If I'm a Giants fan and he was a Giant, Well, number one, he'd be terrible because Dak Prescott succeeds because of the pieces around him. He would be terrible here without a good offensive line. But I think Dallas would be stupid. I think it'd be foolish to sign Dak Prescott. I don't think he's that good. I really don't.
Yeah, I've kind of said that from the start. We'll have to wait and see if they do it. I completely get the pressure because quarterbacks don't grow on trees. But I'm with you, though, that if I was them, I'd probably do what they're doing, which is franchise tag him. I might franchise tag him a second time, like the Redskins did with Cousins, and then I'd probably look to move on if you could bring in another quarterback. John, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, Stella, Baddog, and Stand Up the Entertainer. Will the Giants unleash Danny Dimes to throw the ball more since he has done well for his rookie year? That's a question I get all the time. I'll start with that. I personally think it is the team's best interest for him not to throw the ball more. I think that they threw the ball too much last year because they were behind the games too much. They weren't able to stick to the run. And I think if this team is going to win games this year, it's going to be by running the football and setting Jones up for efficient passing opportunities. But I do not want this to be an aired out football team. I don't think it plays to the team's strengths with as, questionable as a defense as we have.
Yeah, in order for a guy like Daniel, this is what Dallas does. I mean, they run the set up the pass. A lot of teams do that. You got to be able to run the ball. Okay, I don't want Daniel Jones going back and slinging it 50 times a game. But he may do that in some games. Joe Judge has said Daniel Jones may throw it 50 times in one game. He may throw it 10 times the next game. It really depends on who we're playing. But we're not going to be an air raid type offense. We have a young offensive line. Offensive line was terrible last year. We brought in 3 rookies in the draft this year. And Nick Gates is a younger guy too. You really don't want Daniel Jones dropping back and taking all that pressure, letting defenses pin their ears back and go right after Daniel Jones. And on top of that, our receiving core, I think, is good enough, but it's not like it's great. Nobody there really scares you. So the Giants are really going to have to do a lot of running the ball to set up the play action, to roll Daniel Jones out, to give him some more options. The defense needs to think about Daniel Jones running. I think Jason Garrett will do that. They did that with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is very effective when he's outside of the pocket and he makes those defenders commit. Am I going after the quarterback? Am I going after the receiver? And that's when you really have the defense, by the short hairs because they don't know what to do because Daniel Jones can run a little bit. So I think the Giants I think they're going to have a nice mixture of passing and running the ball, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see a lot more I formation. I made a video on that I think they're going to use the fullback a lot more. They only used them 11% of the time last year. So I'm with you. I want to see a lot more I formation. I want to see a lot more play action rollout. Get out in the flat. Let Daniel Jones use those legs, extend plays, try to hit some big plays down the field, which is what I think this offense is all about. But John, man, thanks so much for love. Bully CG Dog with the $2 donation. Are you cutting your kicker? I mean, at this point, Baddog, not trying to jump the gun, kind of like what we did with DeAndre Baker. I don't want to make that mistake twice, but I think Aldrick Rosas is going to be proven to be guilty. And if he is, he's a kicker. I mean, and he's a kicker that was bad last year. So, yes, I think they will move on. I think they will cut Rosas, and I think they'll bring in a cheaper alternative. A lot of people have pointed to Gostkowski, who struggled a bit last year. I think he got hurt last year with the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see. But, yes, I think they're definitely going to be looking at some options at the kicker position.
Is it talking about the Giants are talking about a drunk idiot kicker who got liquored up? No, I'm just kidding. That was Peyton Manning about Mike Vanderjagt in the Pro Bowl a few years ago. I know what it is about Giants. They don't know how to drive. Remember when we first started our show, Kyle Lauletta?
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So I don't know what the hell it is. Stay out of the cars, Giants. Yeah, Aldrick Rosas is replaceable. He was terrible last year anyway. So yeah, I don't know.
I completely forgot about the Kyle Lauletta thing. You're absolutely right about that. They have had the issues. Kyle Lauletta with the DWI
was one of our first. I might have been
DWI.
I think it was a DWI. I think he hit somebody going through a construction zone or
that's
or
what
he
it
was
was.
Speeding. It actually was our first. It was our first show we ever did. Because I remember saying a joke in there that Kyle Lauletta got arrested on purpose because he'd be safer in jail than behind our office.
That's right.
It was our first show that we ever did.
That's
we were
right.
about Kyle Lauletta getting arrested.
That's right.
84 shows ago.
This is our 85th.
Chris, you've been doing this for almost 2 years.
This is our 85th show?
85th show. Because we did it 2 days a week, quite a bit. So.
Right.
Yeah,
So we're gonna be 100. We'll be at 100 in the regular season this year.
Yes, we will.
That's awesome. Cody Collins, man, thanks so much for love. He says, can I get that B-Day song entertainer for Angel? She's 21. Oh, God, I promise you I would do it. All right.
Everybody turning 21.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angel. Happy birthday to you. There you go, Cody. Happy birthday to Angel.
On my birthday, Chris.
and Josh Satori with the $2 donation. I really appreciate it. He says, do you have a P.O. Box entertainer? I do not. But if you private message me, we can work something out, man. I appreciate the thought. Thank you very much. You can message me on Twitter if you have it, or Instagram, or just give me your email at the end of the stream. Thank you very much. Rockin' Rob, man. Thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, rank our interior defensive line starters from best to worst for the 2020 season. I say Williams, Dex, Tomlinson, and Chris. You got to start watching Prison Break. I'll tell you what, Rocker Rob. Thank you very much for love. I think you. What was his name? It used to be. I see him all the time. The names escape me, but I know the profile picture. Thank you so much for love. I really appreciate it. I know I got to watch Prison Break. A lot of people have asked me to watch Prison Break. I just started watching The Punisher, actually. So that's the new Netflix show that I'm hooked on. In terms of the best interior defensive lineman right now, I think it's close between Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to lean Dexter Lawrence. I think Dexter Lawrence is going to have a big year for the New York Giants. I like both those players a lot, but I'll go Dexter Lawrence is one. Tomlinson's close too. I think all three of them are very good.
You can put him in a hat, pull him out in the water, and I don't think you'd be wrong. Honestly. Yeah,
I'll go Dex, Leo, Tomlinson, but they're all very good. I think they're all very good at what they do.
Yep. I guess I would go Leonard Williams first by like, one of the hairs on the top of my head. So, really thin and then I would go Dexter Lawrence, Dalvin Tomlinson. But I think Leonard Williams, he's gonna have a big year because it's a prove year for him. He's on the franchise tag. And I think Leonard Williams really did a good job for the Giants. Again, maybe the stats didn't show up because he wasn't getting sacks, but man, you could tell the Giants' defensive line played a lot better when he was there. You could see it against the run. They started to get more pressure on the quarterback too. First half against the Eagles in that second game, Leonard Williams dominated. And I said, this is a guy we traded for. If Leonard Williams can play at that level most of the time, he's going to have a big year. I think Leonard Williams is going to have a big year. I really do.
Yeah, I think they both will. I think him and Dexter are going to have a good year. Hazelnut
Tomlinson too. He's the same thing. He's a contract year, so.
Yeah, I think their D-line is going to be very good. And Hazelnut, yes, I do play fantasy football. I'm going to have a league with my Baddog and me might be in a league together, but I'm going to have a members league. As far as subscribers go, I'm probably going to do something bigger because fantasy football is only like 10 people, but I do play fantasy football, yes. And I just wanted a stat that I found today that I was shocked about when I was doing my video today. I had no idea. The New York Giants last year ranked 4th in the entire league in yards per carry against. They only surrendered 3.9 yards a carry as a run defense. So that impressed me. I didn't know that. So they gave up a decent amount of yards because teams were always ahead on the ground, but they only gave up 3.9 yards a carry.
Well, I didn't know we were that good either. I didn't know we were 4th in the league. I did know that it got a lot better when Leonard Williams got there, though. You could see that on the field. And, part of that was – we won some games at the end of the year, too. I mean, we beat Miami. We beat Washington. I mean, we always beat Washington. That was fun, too. I had a couple of Redskins fans in that stream last night. I got to talk trash because, as a Giants fan, you don't get to talk trash to anybody. But we can always talk trash to Washington. Always. Always. I mean, that's the one team we can do it to. So that was kind of fun bringing out a little trash talk because, when your team is trash, it's hard to trash talk. 12 wins in 3 years. Let's face it, the Giants have been a dumpster fire. It's about time to turn that around.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're absolutely getting there. Benjamin, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, I know I tried to fix that before on live, Ben. He says, I see the wind blowing in Chris's hair.
Yes.
Now I get why Asia always calls you Sexy Dana. Can't wait for week 4 because the Giants fly 6 hours west to the LA Rams. Win a close one, 23-17. I think it's going to be a good game. But one thing I will say, I do think people are sleeping on the LA Rams. I saw that, Benjamin, on Twitter. They're one of my 5 deep sleepers this year that I think people are sleeping on. I do think the Rams could be a little better than people are projecting, but I do think that's the game, one of the games that maybe the Giants could pull an upset on the road. It's not going to be easy traveling all the way to LA, but they did lose a lot of pieces on that team.
They did, and they play in a really tough division.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Rams, I don't even know what to think of the Rams. I really don't. I don't know what they're going to be. You're an enigma to me. I really don't. I do. I think that they'll beat us just because we're flying west, and that's always tough. That cross-country trip is always tough. I like you said, or like Benjamin said, I think the Rams win in a close one. That's kind of what I predicted. But yeah, I mean, we definitely could win that game. It's not like they're head and shoulders better than we are. Now, I love Benjamin. Benjamin's my guy, and he knows this. Last night, this guy was talking all kinds of nonsense, talking about the Dodgers beating the Yankees in the World Series. And I had to tell him, that ain't happening. The Yankees are winning this World Series, Benjamin. I'm sorry. It's been too long since I've seen one. Yeah, that's right. I'm spoiled. And I want another championship, damn it. And I just want a Yankee-Dodger World Series. Of course I want to win, but listen, Benjamin, if the Yankees and Dodgers meet up in the Fall Classic, which I'm praying to God they do, because this should have happened if it wasn't for the cheating-ass Astros, okay? We would have met twice, right? I would congratulate you, obviously.
I just want to get in. I don't care who we play.
Yankees, Mets, I'm down for that too.
Yeah, I just want to get in. I don't really care. And Kristaps Porzingis, man, thanks so much for love. He says, "What will you both be streaming once sports returns?"
What do you think we're going to be? The questions, Kristaps Porzingis.
What does he think we're going to stream? We're going to stream basketball. We're going to stream.
He knows what I'm streaming.
Yeah, well, you're streaming the Lakers, but basketball is going to be the only sport in town. So obviously, I'm going to be doing that at first. I'm going to be mixed. I'm definitely going to be doing some Mets baseball. I'm not going to do regular season NBA. I'll be focusing strictly on the Mets until the playoffs NBA. Then I'll be doing NBA. We'll be doing the preseason Giant games like last year. And then obviously during the football season, I'm pretty much exclusively football. But yeah, I'm going to focus heavily for about a month on playoff basketball. Ben, Kristaps, thank you for the love, man.
You know, KP. I mean, come on, baby. This LA Lou's in here. LA Lou got me. This LA Lou. Everybody's itching for Laker Dog. Laker Dog's itching for Laker Dog. Hey, Yankee. Oh, it's not itching for the damn Yankees. Big time. Should be right in the middle of the season right now. Gleyber Torres would have 23 homers right now. Gleyber Torres is going to win the AL MVP.
We'll see. So I think DeGrom's going to win the National League Cy Young 3 years straight. OGR, can they even give out awards for a 60-game season?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So that count? Do you get like half an award or like a third of an award?
You really don't know. Like, what if a guy hits 400? That's possible in 2 months.
It's more than possible in 2 months. Guy could hit 450 in 2 months.
Right. So I don't know.
OGR, man, thanks so much for love. He says, "What's going on? I love dumpster fires, but not when it's my Giants."
Yeah, NFC East dumpster fires are great, but not when it's in your own backyard. That's not good. Yeah, neighbor's got a dumpster fire. Like, oh, check that out. It's in your backyard. It's like, oh, damn, what do we do?
Yeah. But if you guys haven't done so, please go on over to OGR Sports. Check him out, man. Thanks for popping in the stream. I was over there a little bit earlier watching his live stream, doing a great job. He's almost at 850 subs, so he's getting
he'll be on the channel Thursday. I have
nice.
I have OGR, Giants Alliance, and Noah Cahill coming on Thursday.
Good stuff.
Giants Roundtable. Some of the most underrated Giants video makers on YouTube. So I want to get them up there, trying to get OGR to 1,000 subscribers. Well deserved. All those guys, work really hard. And Giants Alliance, I mean, that guy knows a lot of football. That guy knows a lot of Giants football. Man. I loved working with him, man. That was a really good time. So yeah, I think those guys deserve a lot more than they get. So I was like, come on over. Let's talk a little Giants football. And,
yeah,
Wednesday we're aiming for the big one. Wednesday's another NFC East roundtable. So we're
nice.
Yeah. We're just waiting on Law Nation. But Law Nation, LB, Louis T. We got LB, LN, and LT.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. LA Lou, man, thanks so much for love. He says, just a quick off topic. The NBA resumes with the Lakers versus the Clippers.
Yep.
Chris, who are you going to root for, if anyone? Is the NBA ruined for you? LA, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really rooting for anybody. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm not the type of guy that could root for another team. I have my team, and that's about it. And
speaking of which,
I'm just not a huge NBA fan anymore, to be honest with you, outside of the Knicks. I can't really get into it.
Speaking of which.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's get rid of Alonzo Trier.
God.
Come on, man. Are they in the Knicks are already in tank mode for next season.
I don't understand it. And I'm not a big Alonzo Trier. I know you are. I am not a big Alonzo Trier fan. Guy doesn't play much defense. The guy's a volume shooter, not my type of player. But to give up on a guy like that who has some ability for basically nothing. They brought in a guy who shot 29% last year. Made no sense to me. But that's the Knicks.
Just get rid of Mitchell Robinson while we're at it. The hell with him. I'm sure RJ Barrett too. Jesus. I mean, come on, man. What in the hell are they doing?
Typical Knicks, man. That's the Knicks. And Mark, man, thanks so much for love, man. This is the year we will see what we have on defense. And Mark, man, thanks so much for love, man. Thank you for always talking to me on Twitter and everything else, and showing love to both of our channels.
Yeah.
As far as the defense goes, Mark, yeah, I mean, I think this is the year where the younger players, we hope, take that step forward. But it's a new defensive scheme. I think they fit it well. I still think we're a year away from having a good defense. I still think we need 2 more pieces. I think we need a better edge rusher, and I think we need a more of a coverage linebacker. I think once the Giants add those 2 pieces, we could be a very good defense. But I think we could be a better defense than a lot of people think, if that secondary is as good as some Giants fans may think that they could be.
It's just a matter of getting experience, Chris. I think the talent's there, especially in the secondary. And as I mentioned last night, I think the Giants, I think you're going to see, I know we want a 3-4. I get that. I really think you're going to see a lot of 3-3-5. I really do, because I think you're going to see a lot of Peppers and McKinney at the money backer spot. I think you're going to see them play at
I lost you, bad dog. Your mic went out. There you go. You're back.
That happened yesterday, too. I don't know what's going on, but I happen to notice it. But, yeah, so like I was saying, I think you're going to see a lot of 3-3-5, because I think you're going to see McKinney and Peppers play a little linebacker, and that will give us 5 defensive backs. For the versatility that the Giants have, I think you'll see that formation a lot. I think you'll see a lot of 3-3-5. I think you're going to see a lot of nickel from the Giants.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely think you're going to see a lot of 3-3-5 and multiple DB sets. That's a given. And OGR, man, thanks so much for love, man. I appreciate it. He says, root for the Celtics in the playoffs, Chris. Beat LA. I could never root for the Celtics. I cannot root for a Boston team, OGR, man, but I appreciate the love. Thank you very much. I do think the Celtics have a chance to go on a run, though, in the East. I think this year, more so than any other in the NBA, you're going to see upsets due to the fact with the long layover and the fact that there's no home court advantage. I think you'll see some teams get knocked off that may not have in a normal playoff setting, because you don't have that home court advantage. New York for life, man. Thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. What's worse, getting beat up by a bunch of midgets, waking up and realizing you're a Mets fan? Oh, being a Mets fan. Being a Mets fan. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's the most painful feeling in the world. New York for life. It's horrible. It's depressing. I don't know how I still have hair left. You would think Baddog was the Mets fan.
No, I know. Nick's good enough. But to go back to OJ, I actually think the Celtics give the Lakers the biggest problem. I think the Lakers match up better against the Bucks than they do the Celtics, to be honest with you. So, I don't know. I'm just happy that we're getting sports back in any capacity at this point. To be honest with you,
absolutely.
And Chris, I've told you a number of times I will turn my back on the pinstripes. Pretty good.
No, can't do it. Meat says right now, before the start of the season, is our offense stronger? It's got to be the offense.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be the offense. I mean, the defense has a lot of young talent. That, by the way, I want to say thank you to Meat. He got me these, by the way, and I didn't really show them up. I only showed it in the member stream. He got me these. I'm going to start putting these on hats probably in a couple of weeks. So he was nice enough to give me to these. I'll probably give them out to members for free and probably start selling them or giveaways for members every once in a while and start selling them in merchandise. But thank you so much, Meat, for that. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yes, he's working on some Baddog ones too. Meat is the man. Yes, he
is the man. But I forgot what I was talking. It's definitely it's got to be the offense right now, Baddog.
Yeah, this is just more experienced. Without a doubt. Outside of our offensive line, I mean, it's just more experienced. You got a lot more veterans on offense and defense.
Yeah, 100%. And Benjamin, man, thanks for love, man. He said, Baddog, Yankees last won in 2009. Dodgers haven't won since 88. Yeah, that's when you beat my Mets in 88 when we were supposed to win that year. My brother was only a year old, and my girlfriend and I weren't even in our dad's scrotum yet.
Benjamin, I love you, buddy, but that sounds like a YP, not an MP. That's not my problem. Listen, if I was as young as you, I would only see one Yankee championship. It's not my fault I'm old, man. That's why. I mean, if I was only 21, that means I would have been born in 1999. I would have been 10 years old when they won. And that would have been it.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm just old, man. I'm old.
Yeah, and Mets haven't won since 86 for me, and you guys beat us in 88, Benjamin, so I don't feel bad for you.
And, hey, I saw the Mets winning in 86. That's how old I am. I also saw the Giants winning in 86. So.
And L.A. man, thanks for love it. And he says, since the Dodgers moved to L.A., the Dodgers and Yankees are 2-2 in the World Series. Here comes the rubber match. Walker Bueller really breaks out. We'll see.
I haven't seen one, LA Lou. I've not seen a Yankees-Dodgers World Series. I've been pining for that for 3 years. Let's get it done this year.
I could see it. I could. I mean, they're the favorites, but in a shortened season, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. 60 games.
Yeah, anything can happen. Jeremy, man, thanks for love. I appreciate it. He says, the fact that we could have had Aaron Donald in 2014. Yeah, you go back on a lot of drafts, Jeremy, and I didn't get a chance to watch it. I want to watch it. I saw that Mike Too Nice made a video on that, talking about kind of redrafting and going over the players that the New York Giants could have had, from I think it was from 13 to present day or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, there's a number of guys. We talk about it all the time that Jerry Reese passed up on in the first and second round. Yeah, it's sad when you look at it, but Aaron Donald, probably the saddest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did take Odell Beckham in that draft. So, I mean, Odell Beckham was very good for us.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, we didn't win much here with him, but I mean, you can't deny the guy's.
Oh, you can't complain.
He's the best first round pick Jerry Reese made his whole time here.
Yeah, by far.
Hard to argue. I mean, I get it, but
who would be better? JPP? He helped us win a Super Bowl. Maybe you could argue that.
You could argue that. Outside of that, I mean, Hakeem Nicks.
Yeah, Hakeem Nicks. Yeah,
he was a good one too. But I mean, I don't know. 2014 is tougher. Like, you could go back and think Laramie Tunsil over Eli Apple, and that's something we definitely should have done. Or Todd Gurley over Eric Flowers. That's something we should have done. So those definitely, but I get it.
No, OBJ is definitely the best first round pick we had, but you could have. Little Bad Dog's here.
You want to say hi? The camera hog now.
What's up, Little Bad Dog? What's going on, buddy?
Hi.
There he is. There's Little Bad Dog. We did not draft Plaxico Burrstorm. He was a free agent.
That's right.
Hi, buddy.
What's going on, buddy? What's up, buddy?
Boy, the last 2 nights you just want to be in front of the camera. What's up with that?
I think he's gonna have a new YouTube channel, Little Bad Dog.
He might. You done now?
No.
Who was on the TV the other day? Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones? What about Jabril Peppers? What are you saying, silly boy? He's insane. He's
Little Bad Dog's gonna have a YouTube channel before you know it. He's probably gonna be he'll have 5,000 subscribers within the first month.
He might.
Mark, man, thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. He says, I really think Mitchell Robinson might be the real deal except for foul trouble. Yeah, I agree with that. That's what you got to worry about. That's why he didn't start every game with the ticky-tack fouls. But, yeah, I agree with that, Mark. If he can stay out of foul trouble, I do think he's going to be a high-impact player. He averaged 2 blocks a game in 23 minutes. Good rebounder. And he could develop an outside shot. He had that. I think he got suspended from college his first year, but he was known to be a guy with an outside shot. If he could develop that in the NBA, I think he could be a very good player, Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is really raw, but he's really talented.
Yeah.
Very physically talented. So you just got to, he's got to hone his game a little bit, and they just got to, smooth out the rough edges on the guy. But, yeah, I mean, I like Mitchell Robinson a lot. That's why I said he'll be the next one to go.
Yeah, him and RJ Barrett will be traded.
They'll bring in Dwight Howard for Mitchell Robinson. Make that trade.
What's up, Assassin, man? Thanks for popping in the stream. We'll try to answer a couple of you guys' questions here. What is favorite songs? I don't know. I mean, I can't give you a favorite song. I give you a favorite. I don't even think I give you a favorite musician. I have so many people that I like.
I like what Svi said. He said the kid's got a lot of Super Bowls coming his way. I like that one, Svi. I like that.
I sure hope so. How do you think the running game is going to look differently under Garrett compared to Shermer's offense? Alex says.
It'll be competent.
Well, yeah. But for one, the first thing is what I touched on in one of my videos about a week or two ago. You're going to see a lot more I formation. The fullback's going to be used a lot more. Under Garrett with the Cowboys, they use the fullback a lot more. So I think you'll see a lot more I formation. And I think that they'll pay more attention to the ground game. I don't think that they'll get away from it. They're also going to take their shots down the field. They're going to throw the ball, but I think you're going to see a lot more I formation with Saquon Barkley and Elijah Penny.
Yeah, one thing, a lot of Cowboy fans said, "Oh, Jason Garrett didn't run the ball enough. Dak Prescott's throwing the ball over." I wasn't Jason Garrett, Cowboys fans. That was Kellen Moore. That's Kellen Moore's offense that did that. And Zeke still ended up with the second most carries in the league, so it's not like they got away from it. Just ran a lot of plays. So that's what you want. You want your offense to run a lot of plays. You want your offense to run more plays than the opposing offense. That's what the Giants got to run the ball. Time of possession keeps your defense off the field, keeps them fresh. And when your offense is on the field, their offense can't score. So, that'll help everybody out. I think Garrett's going to bring a balanced offense here. And I think the offense is going to be good. I think the Giants can be a top 10 offense this season. I really do. I expect them to be a top 10 offense. I expect Daniel Jones to be a top 10 quarterback. I'm not backing off of that. I really do. I think he'll be that good, even against a tough schedule.
We'll see. I want to say hi to Andrew Christopher. He came in and said his infamous hi. What's going on, Andrew Christopher? Hi to you. I think they could be a top 10 offense. I'm not going to put those expectations going in, but I definitely think they could. It's going to come down to health. If they have the same injuries they had last year, they're not going to be a top 10 offense.
All things considered equal. If they are healthy for the most part.
Yeah, I think if they stay relatively healthy, I think they're a borderline top 10 offense with the improved offensive line, with the new Jason Garrett scheme. I think we're looking between 13 and 8 or 9 in that range in terms of offense if they stay healthy. Ingram doesn't go down. Shepard doesn't go down because they're thin at that position after the fact. But we'll see. Hopefully they do stay healthy. Predictions for the Packers, Cool Guy says. I'm not a big Packer guy this year. Baddog and myself were huge Packers guys last year. We were the only guys on YouTube that I know of that were picking the Packers before the preseason to win the North.
Maybe outside of Tom Grossi.
Yeah, maybe outside of Tom Grossi. Everybody had the Bears to win the North. Everybody. They were coming off the 12-4 season.
And you and I both said they were taking a step back, and boy, did they ever.
Yeah, and I had them going to the Super Bowl last year. You weren't as high on them as I was. But
I think I had the Saints.
Yeah, maybe you had the Saints.
Yeah.
But I loved what the Packers did in free agency last year. But the problem is, what I think the Packers are going to run into this year is the same problem the Giants ran into 2016. They went out there, they spent a boatload on free agency with Zadarius Smith, Preston Smith, Adrian Amos, and they didn't draft well, or at least they didn't draft well for this year's team. They drafted a quarterback that's going to back up Aaron Rodgers. They didn't really help him. They didn't have much.
Reached for A.J. Dillon. I mean, that was an enormous reach taking him in the second round.
Yeah.
Enormous. When you have Aaron Jones, who led the league in total touchdowns to 21 last year.
Yeah.
Second round for A.J. Dillon, projected fourth round, but they had a bad draft.
Yeah, and I like A.J. Dillon. I was talking about drafting A.J. Dillon on the Giants at the 4th or the 5th round, but way too early. Yeah, way too early. To be honest with you, I don't know who I'm picking in the North because I have a lot of those teams as my sleepers. I think the Lions could be a sleeper. I think a lot of people are sleeping on them. I think the Bears could be a sleeper. I don't think the Packers are winning the North. That's what I'll say. I think the field will win the North, whether it's the Lions, the Bears, or the Vikings. I do not think the Packers are going to win the division this year.
I could see the Vikings winning it, even though they did get rid of Stephon Diggs. I could see them win. I think they're the most complete team. Detroit's got to produce. Patricia's gone. Patricia's got to be on the hot seat this year. But again, I don't know how well Detroit drafted.
Well, I look at Detroit. I look at Detroit's team. This is just my opinion, and I might look like an absolute fool, but I'm not. I'm willing to share my opinions. That they have become my deep sleeper. Matt Stafford last year, they went 3-4-1. He got hurt. They lost their last 8 games. Early in the season, they were competitive. I like a lot of their offensive weapons. They drafted Swift in the second round. I think he's going to have immediate impact. I think Okuda is going to have an immediate impact in the first round. Hawkinson, I think, takes a big jump from year 1 to year 2 with Stafford now healthy as the quarterback. Stafford had 18 touchdowns and 5 picks in his first 8 games last year in that new offense. So I'm buying into the Lions a little bit. I think the Lions are going to be a lot better than people think. I think they're going to win at least 8 games this year. It might contend in the North. That's my deep.
At the end of the day, they're still the Lions.
They are still the Lions. They are still the Lions.
They're still the Lions.
Yeah.
And again, those teams in the division are tough. I mean, they're in a pretty tough division.
Yeah.
It's not an elite division, but all those teams, like you said, I think they're pretty equals. I think most of those teams are better. I'm not sold on the Bears. I am not. I don't give a damn. Nick Foles has never succeeded outside of Philadelphia. They drafted poorly again, and I don't know, man. I got no faith in the Bears at all.
I'm not sold on that entire division, which is why
we're going to beat the Bears.
Which is why I'll take a shot on the Lions. I like some of the things I'm seeing there. I'm not sold on the entire North though. I think it's the weakest division in the sport.
I think our division is the weakest.
I'll tell you, the North. I think every team in that North though took a big step back this year. Oh no, well, the two teams at the top, I should say, the Vikings and the Packers.
They may have taken a step back. They're still not back as far as this division is. This division's bad.
Yeah. Brandon, thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. He says, stand up. I felt like we should have took Ryan Ramczyk over Evan Ingram. We could have taken Ryan Ramczyk. We could have taken TJ Watt, who had
Ingram was terrible. That was a terrible pick.
Yeah, and I want to root for Ingram. I think he's a great guy. I know Giants fans absolutely love Evan Ingram, and he's a flashy player, and he's probably our best playmaker in terms of the passing game. But Evan Ingram was the worst pick. That was a horrible pick. It
was a luxury pick when we didn't need to go luxury pick.
Yeah, it was a horrible pick that year by that was one of
we went 11-5, and in some reason Jerry Reese thought, we got to go offense. You got to go instead of the offensive line.
Yeah,
terrible.
Yeah, it's a horrible pick.
Address that crap, and when he did, it was awful. He missed every damn time he went after the offensive line, man.
Oh God, he was horrible at picking linemen. He didn't pick one good lineman his entire time.
He did not. He did not.
Even in he brought in Boss, I guess, from the Niners, the center. He was part of the Super Bowl team, but overall, Jerry Reese didn't do a very good job with bringing in offensive linemen. That was definitely not his strength.
No, it was not.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, it was not. I'll just Jerry Reese just boneheaded move after bonehead move, and 2008, the Chiefs offered Tony Gonzalez for a 4th-round pick. He says, "No, we'll give you a 6th-round pick." We could have had Tony Gonzalez in his prime on the Giants, and on that time.
Oh, your mic went out again.
It must be because.
Oh, it's out again.
That's sort of. If I hit the cord, the thing goes.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Gonzalez on the 2008 Giants didn't do it, and then McAdoo wanted to trade up to get Mahomes, and he said no.
Yeah,
McAdoo would still have his job if we drafted Pat Mahomes.
That's a good point. We would have to trade up.
And Reese would still have his job. Can you imagine Pat Mahomes, Odell Beckham?
Oh, Reese would still have his job.
Can you imagine Pat Mahomes, Odell Beckham?
McAdoo and Reese would both still be here if we drafted Pat Mahomes.
And the Giants might actually be something.
But the thing I'll say, and Pat Mahomes is unbelievable. Pat Mahomes is going to be good no matter where he goes. But does Pat Mahomes save this team by himself with a bad offensive line, without an offensive line like Andy Reid? Does he save this team by himself? Because this team had a lot of holes with or without Pat Mahomes.
I don't know.
Still would have had a bad defense with all those aging veterans.
It's a good question.
Is Pat Mahomes still Pat Mahomes on the New York Giants without Andy Reid?
Still pretty damn good.
Still damn good.
He was pretty damn good at Texas Tech.
And
which is funny because a lot of Big 12 quarterbacks don't usually pan out, but boy, did he ever pan out.
Yeah. Oh, he's fantastic. He's the best quarterback in the league. Mahomes wouldn't be the same if he came to the. I agree with that, Jawad. He'd still be great, but he's not Mahomes. He's not the Mahomes that we know right now. I think this will be the last year for Ingram if he has another injury-prone season. Not this last year in the league, but it could very well be his last year with the New York Giants. Storm, I'll definitely agree with that. It could be his last year if he stays healthy. I've talked about it. I mean, the New York Giants extended him on his rookie deal, but if the Giants are 2-5 this year at the trade deadline and Ingram's playing well, and they don't feel that he's a long-term answer at that position, knowing that they're going to have to tie up all these other players that they've drafted over the last 3 years, they could trade him. It's not out of the question this year. Ingram's probably the most likely guy to be traded, if not for Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the fact that Caden Smith played so well in the last 4 games showed that he had a really good rapport with Daniel Jones immediately. It's not like Evan Ingram can block very well. So, if Caden Smith can produce offensively as well as Evan Ingram, it makes more sense to keep Caden Smith and not pay all that money to Evan Ingram. So, I mean, I could definitely see the Giants trading Evan Ingram for maybe a 3rd or a 4th round pick. Like if you said, if they start out 2-5 and he's having a good year, I could definitely see them maybe getting a 3rd or a 4th for Evan Ingram.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they do. I'm not hoping for that. I'm hoping the Giants surprise people. Ingram has a great year. Benjamin, man, thanks so much for love. I always wondered where the Rams would be at now if we took Wentz over Goff. Maybe Super Bowl champs, or maybe he continues to have his injury problems. Because it's not like the Eagles don't have a good offensive line. The Eagles have one of the best offensive lines the sport has to offer. So I don't think that's the problem. So who knows? But
what happened against the Rams?
Yeah,
Wentz got hurt against the Rams when he tore his ACL.
That's true.
Stayed in there for an extra play and scored a touchdown.
That's a good point. He's definitely a better quarterback than Goff. Kush, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. Who do you think is the face of the Giants, Daniel Jones or Saquon Barkley? That's a really good question. I mean, You know what, man? Can I say both? I mean, right now, I still think it's Barkley. Barkley's got another year on Jones. Jones only had 12 starts. I think Barkley right now is the face of the team. Joe Judge is the face of the team. He's the coach, and I think he's definitely a guy that commands respect. But in terms of players, right now, I think it's Barkley, but I think Daniel Jones, you hope, takes over. I mean, you want your quarterback to be the face of the team. You want Daniel Jones to become that franchise quarterback. And after this year, as great, I want to say both. Even if Daniel Jones becomes a great quarterback, Saquon Barkley is that good. I think it's like a duo. I mean, I think Saquon Barkley is still going to be the face of this team no matter what. He's that good.
Oh, yeah, I think Saquon is the face. I mean, he missed 3.5 games last year. He still ended up with 1,000 yards. He still averaged over 5 yards a carry, even though he came back early in 4 games. He came back. The first 4, he wasn't healthy at all. But yeah, I mean, I hope Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley both become the face of this team because, we're going to be riding these guys for a long time, which is why we address the offensive line. And shout out to the president of the 420 Club, Mr. Cushmaster.
Yeah, Cushmaster's the man. He's always in all of our streams.
Yes.
Thank you, Cushman, for loving
As soon as I schedule a live stream, Cushmaster's in there.
Cushmaster's the man. He's awesome.
Yes.
Been a great supporter of both of us. LA Lou, man, thank you so much, man. He says, more important than the OND is the culture of the team. Remember the Rams versus Giants in 2018, third and 33. You had Apple and Landon Collins refusing to engage. That was hitting bottom team culture. Oh, of course, 100%. I don't care.
I said right after that, I had a rant. I said they quit. I said the Giants quit. That was the end of McAdoo. That was it. They quit on him. That
was the most, since I've been watching the team, I don't go back as far as you. I think that was the most embarrassing New York Giants team I've ever witnessed.
It was. Even as far back as I go, there wasn't a worse team than that.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. That was the game that made me turn on Landon Collins. I didn't like Collins anyway, but that was the one I said, this guy quit. This guy sucks. This guy's overrated. He still hasn't had an interception since 2017, and it was off the arm of Travis Kelce.
That's ridiculous.
The guy hasn't had an interception in 3 years.
Yeah. That team just straight out gave up. That was embarrassing. That was horrible. That's why Ben McAdoo probably will never be a head coach again because of the team. That's how you judge a coach. The team completely gave up on him. And the handling of the Eli Manning situation definitely didn't help him either. But that was really bad down the stretch, that New York Giants.
Blame the GM for that too, bringing those players in here.
Yeah, it's true. It's absolutely true. Landon Collins is an overrated bum.
Yeah, he is. I hate him. I have always hated Landon Collins. Go back 2 years of my videos, man. I do nothing but I rip. I can't stand Landon Collins, man.
Yeah,
usually whenever he says something about the Giants, I'll make a video just so I have a reason to tear him up. Hate him.
Who do you think will be returning punts and kickoffs? Rose Tap says. That's a tough one for me. That's a tough one for me. It could be a lot of guys. Javon Lee could be returning. Corey Coleman definitely did a great job with his limited exposure. Who knows? Maybe the names escape me. The 4.26 undrafted free agent. Derek Dillon. We're going to have to wait and see until we get to camp. There's a number of guys that could take that. Peppers could be returning punts. There's a number of guys that could be getting those roles.
Yep, there really is. There's a bunch of guys, but like I said, I think the undrafted free agent with the biggest chance here is Javon Leake, just because I don't think there's any I think that he'll show out better than Deion Lewis and Wayne Gallman. He's better than Wayne Gallman. I mean, Gallman's fell out of favor. So I think Javon Leake's making this team just because we're so thin at running back.
Yeah, I think they're going to carry all of them, to be honest with you. I think that they're going to carry – I think they'll carry Gallman, Leake, and Lewis. I think they'll carry all of them.
They could. I wouldn't surprise you if they let Gallman walk. But I think Leake's making this team.
Yeah, I definitely think Leake's I shouldn't say definitely, but because of his versatility and his ability to return kicks, I do think there's a very strong possibility he'll make the team.
And it's funny, people will talk about the 40 times in the combine and everything, but I'm telling you, man, you look at some of these guys' game film and they show out faster than 40-yard dash. You know what I mean? And it's not always so much your 40-yard dash. It's straight on speed. How quick can you change direction? How quick can you hit the hole?
Right.
How fast is that burst? I mean, that's what you want to see. Okay, so maybe a guy ain't going to run for an 85-yard touchdown like Saquon Barkley, but if you got a guy that's hitting a hole and he runs a 4.6 and he's getting you 12, 15 yards, he has a quick burst, That's good enough. You don't need to run it. That's effective, man. You get running backs that chewing up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards at a carry. That's good stuff. They don't all need to go the distance. It's that quick hit in the hole. Because you could run a 4.2, but if you don't find that hole, your speed is useless until you get out into the open field. It's all about vision. So if you don't have vision and you're very fast, it doesn't matter how fast you are.
Right. That's a good point.
I like Javon Leak a lot.
I hope Javon Leak makes the team, man. He seems to be a guy that everybody's rooting for. Let's see what you got here. Does anybody know what Jerry Reese is doing now? I don't think he doesn't have a job right now, Elvis. I'm almost positive of that.
Jay says Baddog talking about Landon Collins might make him do better in games. Works every time. It does not work with him. I've talked trash about him a lot, and he still stinks, Jay. He still that's how bad he is. That even me talking bad about him doesn't make him better. It didn't make Solder better either, by the way, just so you know.
Solder was horrible last year. Let's see what we got here. What do you think about? We already talked about cutting Trier. Do you think we can have a top 10 offensive line this year? How about depth? Okay, we'll talk about the depth first, Steve. Since I've been watching the team, at least in modern day Giants, over the last since they had that really good offensive line, since that period, which is now going on about 10 years.
The dark ages.
Yeah. It's definitely the deepest offensive line we've had. I mean, we've got depth at that tackle. Cam Fleming would be a starter last year. He's better than Mike Remmers. He's our backup tackle. And not to mention we drafted Matt Parrott, a guy a lot of people are excited about. Am I going to go as far to say that I think they're going to have a top 10 offensive line this year? No. I'm not going to put unrealistic expectations on this team. We don't have a center right now. We don't have a center. You've got a rookie left tackle who I like. We don't know if he's going to be the left tackle. I think Andrew Thomas is going to be great. Nate Solder's still a huge question mark. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. It is setting the bar way too high to expect the top 10 offensive line. Now, can they be league average? Yes, and that's what I expect. Right around league average, 15 to 17, in that range. And then next year is where you start to move towards the top 10.
Yeah, Will Hernandez has to play better.
Yeah,
I think, again, I think Will Hernandez needs to play a lot better. Zeitler's pretty solid. He's getting older, but he's solid. Nick Gates is also a guy that played really well for us last year. There's talk about him being there at center, maybe Shane Lemieux. I think either one of those guys are better than Jalapeno or Pulley. I don't think either one of those guys is who you want snapping the ball to Daniel Jones. But it's just a really young offensive line. You know, if you got Andrew Thomas out there, you got Nick Gates out there, you got Will Hernandez. Those are younger guys. Solder has to play better. Zeitler's pretty solid. Like Chris said, I think we could be – if we're mid-pack on offensive line, that'll be really good. That'll be good for the offense will be a lot better if they're middle of the pack.
Yeah. I think the two biggest factors isn't even the new players on the offensive line if this offensive line is going to be improved. I think the two biggest factors for this offensive line, if it's going to have a dramatic improvement this year, first factor, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is now in year 2. I do think he struggled mightily last year in terms of reading coverages when he first got thrown into the fire. You look at the disparity between that offensive line, how they played with Eli the first 2 weeks, and how it took a huge, they dropped, which is encouraging because I think Daniel Jones will get better in year 2 at that. So I think that will be a big reason if the Giants offensive line improves. And 2, Mark Colombo. Mark Colombo's a very good offensive line coach. He's got that MO, did a great job with the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, he had talent, but they did much better when he took over the role in 2018, and the players seem to love him. So if the Giants are going to exceed expectations in that area, I think those will be the two most important factors. Daniel Jones' maturation as a quarterback, learning to read defenses and setting up his offensive line to be put in the right positions, and Mark Colombo, the new offensive line coach. So, and of course, the talent, Andrew Thomas, but I think those will be the two biggest factors if we're going to be a top 10 offensive line.
Absolutely. And the other thing Daniel Jones has to do is get rid of the ball. I mean, he held on the ball too long a lot of times. Trying to make a play, waiting for receivers to come open. That's something, again, you learn as an NFL quarterback. You start getting a clock in your head. It's like, okay, I got to get rid of the ball. Guy's going to be here. I got to get rid of the ball. I can't hang on to it, for 4 seconds and get blindsided. It's got to be like 1,000, 2,000. It's not there. Throw it away.
Right.
It's got to be. It's got to be like that. So, yeah, I think the combination of all three of those things, and I think you'll see Daniel Jones do a lot better at all three of those things this year, will definitely improve, not just the offensive line play, but Daniel Jones's play as well.
Yeah, and the other thing that I'm really excited about from what I've read that I think the New York Giants are going to bring this year with this offensive line, they kind of had more of a zone blocking scheme approach. This year, they're going to be more of a power blocking approach, which I've talked about this, it does fit a guy like Will Hernandez better. And I think the Giants are going to try to run the ball. And I think that might fit this offensive line better. We'll have to wait and see But I think there's a number of factors that could make this offensive line a lot better, and has less to do with the talent and more to do with some of the other changes. The quarterback has a lot to do. There's a reason, Baddog. You look at the New England Patriots. There's a reason why that offensive line, when they have guys, Nate Solder was on that offensive line, he was great. Cam Fleming played pretty well for the Patriots. There's a reason that those guys that are sometimes undrafted, 5th-round picks, 4th-round picks, Tom Brady has a lot to do with it. Tom Brady and his ability to read defenses, and you hope that Daniel Jones takes that big step forward. He's very intelligent. He's working hard in the offseason, and I think that will have more of a factor than anything else is Daniel Jones's maturation.
Yeah. And again, he wants to improve. You can tell. And he's working hard. He's doing everything that, they're not asking him to do this. This guy's going out because he wants to win. That's what you want out of your quarterback. A quarterback's supposed to be your leader on offense. They don't need to be a vocal leader. They just need to go out there and prove what their play. Eli Manning was not a vocal guy, but Eli Manning was tough as nails. He studied film extremely hard. He the guy worked, which is why he was so successful until it just all came crumbling down on him because they never fixed the offensive line. And Eli Manning wasn't a mobile quarterback at any point in his career. So when you have guys just getting back there and killing him when he's hitting his back foot, Eli Manning couldn't do anything with that. So, I love what Daniel Jones has done this offseason, and I made no bones about it. I expect this guy to be I've been saying it in every live stream. He's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. He's going to make the Pro Bowl. Just watch.
I sure hope you're right. Bando. I mean, this day and age, anybody can make the Pro Bowl. But no, I think he could have a Pro Bowl like season. Mark, man, thanks so much, Philip. I appreciate it. He says, guys, do you think Leonard Williams could be our Keith the Hammer Hamilton? Back in the day, Hamilton was a beast. Keith Hamilton was one of my favorite Giants when I first started watching the team. Yeah, why not? I mean, I think Leonard Williams is going to have a big impact for this team. We were talking about it at the top of the show. You definitely saw the impact he had, in terms of the run defense last year when he came to the team. They were a very good run defense. Well, Leo Williams was with the team. Dalvin Tomlinson played a lot better while he was here. The defensive line is definitely our strongest unit on either side of the football. The defensive line is very good. It's probably the second best defensive line in the division, if I had to guess, in terms of run defense. So, I'm really excited to see what Leo could do this year. I don't know if he's going to be in the long-term plans, but I think he does fit this defensive philosophy. I think he is able to play in both the 3-4 and the 4-3. He's versatile. I'm a big fan of Leo Williams with the Giants this year. I think he's going to have a strong year. I
do too. I think Leonard Williams takes a massive step up. Again, when you're playing for a contract, that's a lot of added incentive. I mean, it's a lot of dollars you're talking about it. And Leonard Williams played well when he got here. Again, it didn't translate into wins so much, but again, it's not like his stats showed up. Oh, Leonard Williams came in at 7 sacks. No, but that run defense was a lot better. And Leonard Williams takes up a lot of attention. So that allows guys like Dalvin Tomlinson, allows guys like Dexter Lawrence to be more effective because you have to worry about the combination of the three of them. The three of them together, maybe not one stands out as like a superstar, all-pro defensive tackle or defensive end, but the combination of the three of them can be very dangerous. And like you said, Chris, I think that's the strongest part of our defense is that front three. There's a lot of depth there. There's a lot of versatility there. And there was a lot of push up the middle. They're just not pass rushers, but that's, their job is to clog the middle. So the quarterback can't step up into the throw. Get quarterback pressures. Those are important too. Sacks are great, but if you're getting pressure up the middle and you're getting those quarterback pressures and you're making that quarterback make that decision a split second earlier than he wants to, or has to throw the ball a split second before the wide receiver comes out of his break, makes a big difference. Those things don't show up on paper, but they make a big deal in the game. At the end of the game, that makes a big deal.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And CH says, did you guys not watch that Giants game versus the Eagles? That run defense was pathetic. Yeah, the run defense was pathetic against the Cardinals last year also. That was before Williams was there, of course. But, yeah, of course you're always going to be able to pick out games where they were pathetic. But the fact of the matter is this. They surrendered 3.9 yards a carry last year, which was among one of the top 5 run defenses in the sport in terms of yards on average again. So they did something good in that aspect. You can't be ranked that high if you're not doing something good. Right. I think we could all agree that Dexter Lawrence is a talented player and is good. I think Leonard Williams is good against the run. I think he was first of all defensive tackles in quarterback hits last year, something like that. And Dalvin Tomlinson is good against the run as well. So I think they will have a good run defense. Not to mention you bring in Blake Martinez, who's not good in coverage, but he should help in that aspect. So I think the Giants will be fine against the run. I think that's the strength of this defense. It's the pass that we worry about.
They got to be talking about the last game against the Eagles when we mailed it in, because that first game against the Eagles,
Yeah.
Giants completely dominated defensively. The Eagles scored 3 points that first half.
Yeah.
We had no business losing that game. No business losing that game to the Eagles.
That's most games.
Pat Shermer went away from what Eli Manning was dominating. He went away from it.
Yeah.
Pat Shermer seemed to like to do that. Oh, that's working. Let's try to fool him in the next half and do the complete opposite. Didn't work. But Leonard Williams dominated that first half of the first Eagles game. Second is the last game of the season, man. The Giants mailed that in. They were ready for the offseason.
And the same guy says, listen to Benigno and Roberts. They're Jets fans. They're laughing at the Giants for trading for Williams. Well, of course they are. Jets are happy. They as a Jets fan, you won that trade. The Jets were getting rid of them. The Jets were getting rid of Leo Williams. They got more than they were going to. So the Jets should have been ecstatic when they made that trade. And Baddog and myself are not going to defend the trade. No. We're defending the player. You could hate, not like a trade, but still think that the player is a good player. And I think Leonard Williams is a good player.
Two things. First mistake, listening to Benigno and Roberts.
Yeah.
That's your first mistake. They suck. They've always sucked. They always will suck. That's just facts. They're not good. Mike and the Mad Dog, that's good. They're not. Number two, Jets fans shouldn't laugh at anything. Period. Their head coach is Adam Gase. They drafted a bust in Daniel Jones. Or I'm sorry, in Sam Darnold.
Yeah, don't say that. Don't say that.
They wish they drafted Daniel Jones. They drafted a bust in Sam Darnold, and the Jets haven't been relevant in 50 years.
Yeah.
Should never laugh at any team.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house.
I mean, my God.
And Nick DeWick, man, thank you so much for that, man. He says, thinking of Shermer makes me puke. Yeah, makes a lot of people puke. Baddog in particular. Shermer was not a good head coach for the New York Giants, and I think we're glad we moved on. I think Joe Judge definitely seems like, and I'm not going to say anything until we see him on the field, but definitely seems like we're headed in the right direction with Joe Judge.
I love his football philosophy. We'll see if it pans out in the field, but I like what he brings to the table. I love the coaching staff. They're a bunch of smart guys. You know, obviously they're all Ivy Leaguers, and they drafted a bunch of smart guys. We heard that for every draft pick. He's a smart kid. He's smart kid. That's what they want. Joe Judge said, we want to teach. We're here to teach. Well, you can be a really good teacher when your guys are willing to learn and when they're smart and they pick it up. Doesn't matter how good of a teacher or you got a really bad student, you're not going to get through to them, which is why I'm hoping they can get through to DeAndre Baker. DeAndre Baker was not a very good student last year. And when you're Pat Shermer and you're allowing a rookie to fall asleep in team meetings and he comes out publicly and says he doesn't know the playbook by week 11, that tells you what kind of head coach Pat Shermer was. Not a very good one.
No, not a good leader of men. And it's not just the players who are intelligent. You know, I've talked a lot about this when I did the coaching breakdown videos. A lot of those coaches are very intelligent. Joe Judge has a doctorate degree. Patrick Graham has a doctorate degree. These guys are very smart men that they brought in. Jason Garrett's a very smart guy, even though he doesn't know when to clap properly.
Oh, he went to Princeton, man.
Former quarterback. So I think that Jerry Saplinski is known for being very intelligent. So I think the Giants brought in a lot of smart guys as coaches and players. And like you said, you want to be able to bring in guys that are willing to be taught and guys that are willing to work hard. And I think that was what their mindset was with the guys that they brought in. I mean, all the guys, you look at even the free agents, they all went to Stanford. They brought in 3 free agents who went to Stanford. The Giants definitely attacked intelligence, guys that are hard workers, and some guys with high upside. So I love what the Giants did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You know, it doesn't because the Patriots are that Patriots did not have a boatload of talent. It's not like they were ultra talented at every position. They just worked well together as a team. At the end of the day, if you have good players that work together as a team, you're going to win as opposed to 3 or 4 great players that don't have a good chemistry and don't have a good game plan. You're not going to win with that.
Right.
Too many guys in a football team to win with 3 great players. Just the facts.
Yeah, it's a 53-man roster. Thank you so much, man. CHRHORD. I appreciate the $10 donation. He says, keep up the good work. New York Sports Radio is on the decline. That's why I listen to you guys who specifically talk about the Giants. Well, yeah, I think that's the attraction to both of our channels. I know Baddog does a little Lakers, but he's pretty much exclusively Giants as well. And, yeah, I mean, I think that's the attraction to both of our channels is that we try to focus on the team that we love. And, you know, I'll mix in a little Mets once baseball starts, but we'll be hammering home with the Giants come football season. And thank you so much for listening, man. We appreciate it. By the way, I should have shouted out if somebody could put Baddog's link in the chat We're going to be on his channel next week doing the same show. So thank you to everybody for being here. We really appreciate it, and thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it.
I appreciate that.
David says, $2 donation says, hey, fellas, do you think DJ bulking up will help? Well, I don't think it's going to hurt. I mean, he put on 8-10 pounds of muscle. And, that was one thing that a lot of people talked about last year when Daniel Jones first started. He looked a little wiry, hadn't yet filled out his frame. You see that a lot with rookie quarterbacks. So, yeah, I think the extra 8 or 10 pounds will help with him taking hits, things like that. I don't know how much it'll help in like the arm strength department, but yeah, I think it will help him. Maybe it'll help with the fumbling issues a little bit, but yeah, it's not uncommon for quarterbacks to put on some weight after the rookie season.
No, I mean, the guy was 22 years old,
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a kid. So adding muscle, certainly it's not going to hurt him because like you said, he'll have a stronger grip on the ball. It'll definitely, give him more padding when he gets hit. He'll be more durable.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited, man. I don't expect this to be great, but I shouldn't say I'm excited. I'm anxious to see what we do because there's so much turnover. And I think whenever you've been bad, you're always looking forward to the next season. And the Giants just did it. It seems like they did it right. They didn't do anything really sexy. They didn't do anything that like grabbed your attention. It was kind of just a workman's, blue collar type of approach to making this team better. And that's the way we used to win. The Giants were, they were the lunch bunch, man. That's what they were. They were hardworking blue collar guys. That's what New York City is. It's just they're hardworking, tough blue collar guys. And
we say it all the time, man. I mean, you look at those 2 Super Bowl teams that I've seen. Not a lot of Hall of Famers on those teams. They were just good players that were great as a unit, as a team. They worked well together.
And it certainly helped that they had a great leader in Tom Coughlin.
That definitely helped.
And the same thing in '86. I mean, the championship teams, the early, the '86 and '90, obviously predicated on defense, but bunch of tough guys. Phil Simms was a tough son of a bitch. Mark Bavaro didn't get any tougher than him. Joe Morris, Otis Anderson. They were tough guys.
How about Brandon Jacobs? We miss players like him. He used to set the tone at the running back.
Yes, he did. I go all the time. 2007 NFC Championship game. First carry was 2 yards, but I forgot who that cornerback was. But boy, he took a shot.
I think it was Woodson. I think it was Woodson. If I'm not mistaken.
He delivered the tone immediately. That tone was set immediately. It's 20 below the windshield, but you're gonna feel this all day.
Yeah, we don't have players like that right now. We need those guys. We need those tough guys. Absolutely. And Ron,
I wanted A.J. Dillon a little later in the draft.
Yeah.
Felt like he had a little bit of Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah. Antro Roll's another good one, Jawad. Good call.
Yes. Roll was another good one. Very good.
And Ron, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, I hope they have enough time in the preseason to evaluate all of this year's talent. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a challenge that the New York Giants have going in, but everybody does, but more so the Giants because they have had a complete turnover. I mean, you have a brand new coaching staff. You have a lot of young players that are learning a completely new system on both sides of the ball. So, yes, that is a disadvantage going in, and I think that's something the Giants fans have to anticipate at the start of the season, especially playing some of the teams we play. We're playing teams with not a lot of turnover. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they've had the same coach for like 15 years. The Rams still have McVay. The 49ers, they're coming back from a Super Bowl run. So that's something we have to factor in. You're going up against teams with familiarity. They know what they've been doing the last 10 years. The Giants have a completely new system on both sides of the ball. So it could be a bit of a challenge early on.
The one thing I can say is a couple of things. There's 2 teams in our division that went through the same thing, a complete turnover. McCarthy's new to Dallas. Ron Rivera's new to Washington. The Bengals have a new coach. The Bengals do have a new coach, right?
Yeah.
Do they have a new coach?
No, they don't. I think they kept the same coach, actually.
Did they? I don't even remember.
I think. I'm almost
Cleveland's got a new coach.
Yes.
The Browns have a new coach. The Cardinals obviously don't. This is the second year under Cliff Kingsbury. Obviously the Niners and Seahawks are veterans, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. But there's a lot of teams. The one thing I'm wondering is how they're going to play these guys during these 2 preseason games. Because normally, you come in your first preseason game, your quarterback has a series, and that's it. Second game, he might have a quarter. Third game is a dress rehearsal. They play a half. Fourth game, they don't play. So I wonder if the 2 games you're going to see Daniel Jones play a quarter, then a half, and that's it.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to play at least a half in that second game.
Right?
You got to get him acclimated to that new system. He's got to play some with his receivers. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be shocked if he plays a half in the first game and 3 quarters in the second game. You got to get him some experience,
Got to
and
get those guys
some chemistry, with those wide receivers and the running back. So we'll see, but yeah, I think you'll see him play a lot. And I don't know why Rayvon's message got retracted, but I'll try to spot it in the chat, man. Rayvon, man, great subscriber of mine. I appreciate it. $2 donation. Okay, there it is. Okay. Do you think the Giants secondary is now the strength of the defense? Okay, here's what I'll say about that. I think right now the strength of the defense, like we were saying earlier, is the defensive line. But I think the future strength of this defense, it could very well be that secondary. I talk about it all the time. Look what they invested in that secondary. The first safety drafted in this year's draft, the first or second slot corner drafted in this year's draft, the first cornerback drafted in the year's prior draft. They spent the second most money on any cornerback in this year's free agency with Bradbury. The Giants better have one of the better secondaries in the league within a year or two with what they've invested into the position. Darnay Holmes, slot corner, Julian Love, so on and so forth. So I do think it will be the strength of the defense. This year, though, I still think it's a defensive line. I think both will be strengths in the future. I still think that secondary is young, and they could surprise people this year, maybe be above league average. I think by 2021, it'll be one of the top 8 or 9 secondaries in the league. I do believe that.
Completely agree. Just the fact of inexperience alone with that secondary. But I feel like DeAndre Baker is very talented. I feel like DeAndre Baker will take a step up. I feel like Darnay Holmes and McKinney were huge steals. I think they will improve every week. But going into the season, I think that defensive line was the strength of the defense last year, especially the last 4 games. They played a lot better. And I think with a couple of guys that have to prove it, and Leonard Williams and Dalvin Tomlinson, as well as Dexter Lawrence, who was a PFF, I mean, not the PFF matters, but he was ranked in the top 5 rookie defenders last year. I think
number one D tackle last year.
Right. So number 1 D tackle. So I definitely think that that's our strength at the moment. But by the end of the year, don't be surprised if it flip flops and the secondary is a strength. I agree, Chris. I think you're seeing. Not that we're going to be the Legion of Boom, but you're going to see some semblance of that where the secondary is what we rely on heavily.
Yeah, they're doing what the Patriots did. I mean, the Patriots were kind of ahead. The Patriots are ahead on the curve with everything, but they were kind of the team that was ahead of that. And a lot of teams are starting to shift to that. They're building through the secondary because of Giants Alliance. I mean, we're talking about that. I think he featured me in one of his articles because I made a video on that, and I appreciate that, Giants Alliance, if you're still in here. But you're starting to see offenses focus heavily now on the slot, on the tight end, getting the ball out as fast as possible. And to combat that, defenses have started to build at the slot corner position, at the linebacker that can cover coverage skills. That's what defenses are starting to build towards. Mm-hmm. You still need pass rushers, but it's definitely where the Giants have focused their attention the last couple of years in the draft in coverage.
Yeah, which is why when people say Dave Gettleman doesn't understand the new school of football, he absolutely does, because that is the new school of football.
Yeah.
It's a very deep secondary.
Yeah.
And like you said, we spent the second most on any free agent corner in the league. We drafted heavily the last 2 years going after secondary players. So, I mean, the Giants are putting a lot of emphasis on that secondary, and it was a bad unit last year. I think a lot of that had to do with James Betcher. To be completely honest with you, they did not play Baker at his strength. He was much better in press man-to-man coverage, and you saw that the last month of the season. He played a lot better, and I think that you're going to see that. I think you're going to see Patrick Graham come up with defensive schemes that fit these players. That's what Joe Judge has said. That is what your head coach is supposed to do. Use the strengths of these players to build a game plan. You build a game plan around the player's strengths, not I have this game plan in my head and I want to do it this way every week like Shermer. No, Bill Belichick's the greatest ever because Bill Belichick game plans for every single situation in every single game.
Yeah, he was the master at it. He was the master at that. We talk about it all the time. Guys, I'm warning you right now, if you play fantasy football, do not draft the New England Patriot because you don't know who's going to be getting the ball. And I'll tell you what, don't draft the New York Giant other than Saquon Barkley because I think they're going to have the same exact philosophy. One week they might target Shepard, next week they might target Ingram. But the Patriots were always known for that. They always come with a different guy every week.
Could have been Rex Burkhead one week. You didn't know.
Yeah.
So maybe Elijah Penny has a big year.
You never know.
Big game. I mean,
maybe Toyolo has a big game. Blue Collar, man, thanks so much for love, man. He says, did someone say Blue Collar? What's up, boys? You guys are the best. RD needs the most help. How strong are you guys on Graham turning things around? It's tough, man, because, I'm trying to be optimistic, and I'm not down on Graham. I like Graham, but we don't know enough about him. He's a guy he doesn't have a proven track record, so he's kind of like Judge, where we're going in optimistic. He's smart. He fits Judge's philosophy. The other thing I'll say about Graham, I don't know how long he's going to be here, because the new school of thinking with the NFL is young, innovative minds to try to find a head coach. Well, if the Giants defense this year ranks in the top 10, 12, 15, they surprise people are going to be looking at Patrick Graham. So I don't think Patrick Graham's silly. I think he came here because he knew this could spawn into a head coaching job within a year or two. I don't know how long he's going to be here if the Giants defense surprises people. I think he'll be here past year one. But I like Patrick Graham. I like the philosophy. I like, showing different looks. And to be fair, he didn't have talent in Miami. He's definitely got a lot more talent here than he did with Miami last year, even though we don't have the most talent in the world. We definitely have a lot more talent than that team did. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what Graham could do with his innovation with a more talented team. But, yeah, like I said, it's not like we're bringing in Greg Williams, who has much more of a proven track record as a defensive coordinator. But, yeah, so far I like the philosophy. I'll say that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think, again, I don't know much about Patrick Graham, and it's not like I watched a lot of Dolphins. They were not good defensively last year, but like Chris said, there was zero talent, and any talent that they did have, they got rid of. I mean, they got rid of Minkah Fitzpatrick, who I think Xavier McKinney is. People have asked, who do you think that Xavier McKinney is most like in the NFL? I think it's Minkah Fitzpatrick. I think that McKinney can be that good. A lot of our coaching staff is unproven. Jason Garrett has a proven track record. I worry about him more than anything, seeing how long he hangs around. The guy's been a head coach. He's now an offensive coordinator. If the Giants come out and they are top 10 offense and Daniel Jones has a phenomenal season, you could very easily see somebody, going out who, is drafting at the top of the board, whoever that is. If it's, Carolina just signed Matt Rule, so that's not. But, I'm trying to think of a team that's been bad. Say the Lions, for instance, are really bad, and they are drafting first overall, and Trevor Lawrence is there, and Matt Stafford's at the end of his career. It would not surprise me if they draft Trevor Lawrence and say, Jason Garrett, come on in, you're our guy.
Yeah.
So,
Chargers are another one. Chargers, if they perform bad this year, Lynn would have 2 bad years in a row.
But they got Herbert. Yeah, they could bring in right.
They could bring him to mentor Herbert. There's a number of possible locations that I could see Garrett getting an opportunity. I still think he's probably going to take 2 years.
Maybe even the Jets. I mean, that's
Jets are possible
because Gase is awful.
Yeah,
and you got Darnold there, and they might say, okay, well, he did this with Daniel Jones across the way. And now we're a little jealous, and we want him to come in here and help Sam Darnold, who we drafted 3rd overall.
Yeah.
And Gase is a train wreck. I told the Jets fans, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. You get rid of Gase, that's 3 coaches in 4 years for Sam Darnold. And if you don't, he's just not a good head coach.
I'll tell you what, though. This would be a good problem to have because that's what the Patriots deal with. They lose their coaches. They lost Joe Judge. They lost Brian Flores. Good teams lose their coaches. So if people are taking our coaches, that means the Giants did pretty good this year. So it would be a good problem to have if we have to worry about our coaches getting taken. So that's what I'll say about that. But Blue Collar, man, thanks for love. Brandon, man, thanks so much for love. Do you guys listen to the Giants Beat Writers podcast like Breaking Big Blue and the Giants Insider? I do listen to the Giants Insider from time to time. Brandon, I'm going to be probably working on a podcast of my own this year. A lot of people ask me to do that. Matter of fact, Baddog, if you want to work on that together, I'm completely for that. Off of YouTube, or maybe we sprinkle it on YouTube as well. But I definitely want to get a podcast going.
I'm in, baby. Come on.
I know Baddog's in.
We want Hollywood, Chris.
I didn't even ask. Baddog and me. There you go. There's your preview, guys. Baddog and me are going to have a podcast this year. I want to try to do it twice a week. So maybe we'll have one episode on Baddog's channel early in the week, one episode on mine, and we'll put it on the other platforms on Apple and everything else, plus the show that we do. But yeah, I definitely want to do a podcast this year, something that we haven't really done yet. But yeah, I do listen to Breaking Big Blue. It's the Giants Insider, rather. It's a good show.
I only listen to Giants YouTubers.
Yeah, I focus mainly on Giants YouTubers.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I read articles. I listen to Francesa. Not that his takes the Giants are great. His rants are good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I really do. I mean, if I'm listening to anything, it really is. I get a lot of my information from content creators on YouTube because a lot of those guys really do focus on their own teams. And if I want to hear something about, the Cowboys, I go to Mark Holmes, I go to Law Nation. If I want to hear something about the Skins, I go to Louis T or Ed Oliver, HTTR. Philadelphia's got a lot of guys that do. I mean, you go Philly 500, you go Lord Brunson, you go Joey Shakes. There's a lot of Eagles fans that do a really good job. And then, I mean, the Giants have I swear we have the biggest amount of content creators out of any team in the NFL. And we're awful. But I cannot think of I mean, the Eagles might be up there.
Yeah, the Eagles are up there.
But I'm talking about good. I mean, listen, I had a Cowboys fan come in here and say, Baddog, why does the Giants have the best content creators on YouTube? He's like, I hate the Cowboys content creators. I said, because when the Giants have won 12 games in the last 3 years, and this fan base on YouTube continues to grow, and there continues to be content creators, that tells you they love the Giants. They're coming in at the bottom time. They're not coming in to gloat because you won a Super Bowl. They love the Giants, and they wouldn't be doing it. We're an embarrassment right now. I don't care.
Let's be real, Baddog. New York, and I'm not trying to brag, New York is the most educated sports fans, as far as I'm concerned, the most passionate sports fans in the country. I honestly believe that. I mean, New Yorkers live and die with their sports.
Philly's there too. They're just not intelligent. We can tell by their content. You can always take a shot at the Eagles.
King 26 Reyes, man, I really appreciate that, man. $5 donation. He says, yo, guys, it's my birthday today. I'm only 24, but feel so old. King 26 Reyes, I'm 34, so I got you by 10 years, and we're not even going to get into Baddog.
44, so I got you by 20 years.
But happy birthday to you, King 26 Reyes, man. Thank you so much for love, man.
Years older than you, King Reyes. I ain't feeling old. Happens to be at the gym, too. Oh, man. Kevin, man, my back hurts. You're 23. Shut up. Listen, when you hit my age, you're going to wake up and hurt in places you didn't even know you had places, for crying out loud. What the hell I do to my freaking rib? What I do to my back here? Man, why is my knee hurt? Oh, my shin splints are killing me right now. My shoulders hurt. 24.
I wish I was 24.
God. I'll trade with you, Reyes. By the way, happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
But I will trade with you gladly.
LA Lou, man, thanks so much for that, man. I appreciate it. He says a parallel between the Giants and the Rams. Both teams were coming from bad head coaches. And listen, LA, I'm going to read the rest of it. Hold on. And both new coaches excited the fan base with impressive introductory press conferences. They gave you hope, not like Adam Gase. Listen, I say it all the time, LA Lou, and it's there is not a team I think of more. And obviously, I hope we win a Super Bowl, and I hope that we even get there like you guys did. But you guys remind me a lot of the New York Giants before you took off. You had a young quarterback with Jared Goff like we do with Daniel Jones. He was learning a new system in his second year like Daniel Jones is. You had a star running back with Todd Gurley, Saquon Barkley. You had a brand new head coach that brought, like you said, brought excitement, so on and so forth. Now, we don't have Aaron Donald. I'm not going to tell you we have that, guys. We may not have the exact terms of talent, but they didn't have a great wide receiving core. They kind of had a couple of good wide receivers. They brought in Brandon Cooks.
They had Gurley. We got Barkley.
They had Gurley. Yeah, Gurley and Barkley. I think there were a lot of similarities between that Rams team and this team. And you saw what the Rams did. They won 5 games, I think, the year before McVay came in. The next year, his first year, nobody had any expectations for that team. And I'm not saying we're going to do this, Giants fans. Calm down. We play a very tough schedule. But he flipped that team on its head. They went from 5-11 to 11-5. The next year, they were in the Super Bowl. So I do see some similarities. Now, we don't have Aaron Donald, like I said, the best defensive player in the sport. Which certainly helped the Rams a lot. But I do see some similarities with that Rams team, Lou. I think it's a good comparison.
I would love us just to be 500 again.
Yeah.
At this juncture. Like I said, the things I want to see from the Giants this year, I would love to see them win, obviously. Compete against the Niners. Play them tough. You lose a tough game to the Niners, no shame in that. The Ravens, who I think are winning the Super Bowl, play them tough. Give them a game. And for God's sakes, beat the Eagles and Cowboys. Win the games in your division this year. I want to see them beat those teams. Because I've said this, if we go 4-2 or 5-1 in this division, we got a very good chance of winning it. This division is not good. The Cowboys and Eagles, I know their fans think that they're fantastic. I had Eagle fans on commenting, we're going 14-2. Yeah, okay. 9-7. For both of those teams is not out of the realm. Oh, the Giants play a tough schedule. Like they don't.
They all play
the same schedule, except for they play the Packers and Saints.
Yeah. We all play a tough schedule.
Yeah. So we win the games in the bit. We have to beat up on each other. The weakest opponents we play are the Bengals and the teams within the division.
Yeah, we have to win. I mean, we got to win 4 games in the division.
Yeah.
We got to win 4 games in the division. However we do that, split with the Cowboys and Eagles and sweep the Redskins. But that's what we got to find a way to do if we want to compete in the division this year. Because you win 4 in the division. I think you could beat the Bengals. I think you could, maybe you beat the Cardinals.
Beat the Browns.
Beat the Browns. Maybe you could find some wins here and there. Maybe you beat the Bears. Maybe you beat the Steelers week 1. Win Cardinals, 4 games in the division. We take it from there.
Cardinals got to fly across the country.
Yeah. We might steal a game here and there. So we'll see. I just want some excitement this year. I want to get to December playing meaningful football. That's what I would like. I'm not even talking playoffs. Get to December, and we have a couple of games where we're like, all right, if this happens, we got a shot. Play meaningful football into December. We're used to the Yankees the baseball. The Yankees last longer than the Giants do, and I don't want that this year.
No, last few years, the Yankee season's gone longer than the Giants.
Yeah.
Yankees go into the end of October. The Giants are done at the beginning of October. It's bad.
Yeah.
Sports expert says, is it just me or does Baddog and Tana y'all about the same thing over and over again sometimes? Not much to talk about. And we're just answering questions at this juncture because, there's been no football. There's no mini camps. There's no OTAs. Training camp don't start till July 28th. We do this show because, our supporters and subscribers love this show. You like to hear, take questions from them. We like to answer questions. We like to interact with the subscribers. That's really what the show is right now. There's not a lot of content. It's hard. There's nothing's happening.
Yeah.
But we don't want to go dark for a month and just not be around. We love our support. Big reason I go live is so I can interact with, but a lot of times I go live, I don't really have a set agenda. I'm just like, I just want to talk to my chat. And these guys and girls are always there for me. I feel like I need to be there for them too. Yeah,
same thing with me. Like he said, this is not a normal sports year. Normal sports year, we'd be doing some baseball streams. We'd be doing some NBA playoffs. Right. This is kind of the time where we get away from football. It's not a normal sports year, so we're trying to give you
anything here.
We're trying to keep up with the Giants. We're trying to keep the show going, and when there's not a lot of news, we gotta talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. That's what we try to do.
Yep.
Let's see what we got here. I know you guys are Giants fans, but what do you think of Greg Williams and Gaze both coming out in support of Adams? Is the relationship salvageable? I think so. I'm going to be honest with you. NY Sports MC is a great subscriber of mine. Go check him out. He's a Jets YouTuber. I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm a Jets fan, I want to get rid of him. I want him gone. He reminds me of Odell Beckham at this point. He's a guy that I think is bad for your football team. I think Jets should get rid of him. Jets should trade him. Obviously, you want to get as much as you can, and I know that you don't want to do that because he was the 6th overall pick, and he's probably the best safety in football, like Odell Beckham was arguably the best wide receiver. But sometimes it's even as talented as he may be, it's better for the long-term success of that football team. Jamal Adams has done nothing. Jamal Adams bitch slapped the New York Jets fans. Period. End of story. He came out and said, I don't even need a contract extension. I just want out of here. I'll play wherever for the same amount of money that the New York Jets are paying me. So now it's not even about the money. If I'm a Jets fan, why in the world would you want to keep Jamal Adams at this point? He's not part of the long-term solution there.
So I don't know. I don't know if you were in that stream last night, Sports MC, with me and Gangrene David. But as I said in that stream when I talked about Jamal Adams, the Jets are better off without that guy. It's not even because of all the stuff he says. The Jets are a bad football team. Yeah. We're a bad football team, okay? Like Odell Beckham, a wide receiver is a luxury, and we have much more pressing needs. The Jets have got to fix your offensive line. You got to get a running game. You got to protect Sam Darnold. You don't protect Sam Darnold, I don't give a damn what Jamal Adams does. The Jets have not won with him there. He's a nice player. He's a great player. I love watching Jamal Adams play. But if you're going to give him $18 to $20 million, you're better off taking that money and putting it in your offensive line, giving Sam Darnold the number 1 wide receiver, helping Sam Darnold out. Because a safety is a luxury. You don't need great safeties. As I said to Gary David last night, the best safeties I saw as a combo out of all the Giants Super Bowl teams was Greg Jackson and Myron Guyton. They're not Hall of Famers.
Right.
I don't even remember. I think we had Terry Kennard and Herb Welch were our safeties in 86. That's a luxury. You don't need a Jamal Adams. You don't want to give him $20 million when you're a 5-win team. That's not where you put your money. Let him walk. Trade him. Get what you can get and build in the places you need to build, and then worry about your safety. You build from the inside out. That's as far out as it goes. So, like Odell Beckham, I think Jamal Adams is in the same spot. if you guys were an 11-win team, you definitely give him the money. If Sam Darnold's tearing up the league because you're running the ball well and you're protecting him all over the place, you keep him. But the fact is you're not, just like we weren't, and that's why we got rid of Odell Beckham. That's why you need to part ties with Jamal Adams. Just don't put him in this division.
Yeah, he's been complaining. He was complaining last year. I mean, I don't think I wouldn't want him on my football team at this point. I would look to trade him if you could get a good package. Wallow says Odell did not ask for a trade. Maybe he didn't specifically ask for a trade. The guy said he wanted to play in the palm trees. He wanted to play in LA. He didn't like playing in New York anymore. He didn't like playing for Eli. He felt like they didn't relate. He wanted a younger quarterback who he could relate to. So he said everything he could to say, I don't want to be here. Maybe he didn't specifically ask for a trade. But Odell Beckham forced his way out of here. Let's be real. Let's be real.
He did.
Brandon, man, thanks so much for love. I appreciate it. $2 donations. Daniel Jones had a better rookie season than Eli. Pretty much every quarterback who's ever played in the NFL had a better rookie season.
Eli had a bad rookie season. Ready, Red, what's going on, my man?
Yeah.
Eli had a bad rookie season. Really bad. 48% completion percentage. He might have thrown 1 touchdown, 6 picks. The only Hall of Famer, and Eli is a Hall of Famer. The only Hall of Famer off the top of my head that had a worse rookie season is Terry Bradshaw. He threw 5 touchdowns and 24 picks. That's about as bad as it gets. But Eli had an awful rookie season.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, yeah, you're right, but that's not really an accomplishment. I'm not saying Daniel Jones had a good rookie year, but that anybody had a better rookie than Eli. Yeah. Eli took a huge step forward his second year. They won 11-5, and it was not really till his 4th year till we said to ourselves, okay, this is a franchise quarterback when he won the Super Bowl.
Which is why I had to get on Cowboys. There was a couple Cowboys fans the other night talking about how Dak Prescott's done was better than Eli Manning out of his 4th year, or we'll see what. I said, you're out of your mind. Eli Manning won a Super Bowl in his 4th year. What are you talking about?
Right.
No. Dak did not have a better 4th year than Eli Manning. I
just want to say hello to some of my members in the chat. I got to shout you guys out more, man. Thank you guys for all the support of my channel. Still maintaining members. I'm probably going to give you a shout out in one of my newer videos. I see Card Coach is in here. I saw Big Bang was in here. So thank you guys for popping in. I really appreciate it. Sean Smith with the $5 donation. He says, I always felt that you should be allowed to spend a set amount above the cap to re-sign draft picks. It stinks to draft well and lose them to free agency. Here's what I said. I was having this discussion in my Discord the other day, Baddog, and I think the biggest problem with the salary cap is the quarterback position. I think the quarterback position is the most overpaid position in all of sports. And I understand why it's the most important position, but the fact that they eat up 15 to 20% of the cap, when Pat Mahomes might eat up 20% of the cap in a 53-man sport, that's ridiculous. And I'm not saying he's not worth it. He's that good. But if I was the commissioner of the NFL, the first change I would make, I would come up with some kind of system where it's capped by position. I think that would fix it. I don't know how I would do it. Maybe a quarterback can't exceed 13% of the cap, where they're still the highest paid player. But there's got to be a set amount where it does not, because you keep Mahomes, you're losing all your other draft picks. That's the way it works. It eats into your cap. You can't keep the other players.
I get it, but there's no way the players' union.
No, they wouldn't do it.
They couldn't do that. I mean, the NFL did cut down the rookie contracts, so that's something they did. When Jamarcus Russell made all that money, it was horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, they're the most important position on the team.
Yeah,
they handle the ball almost every snap. So, I get
it's definitely the most important position.
That's why you have to draft well. That's why you got to pick your spots. That's why the NFL's tough. That's why you don't see a ton of repeat Super Bowl champions, because guys move on. The cap makes it tough. It's not like baseball,
I see Big Drake's in the house. What's going on, Big Drake? What do we got here? Lax, man, thanks so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to having you on the channel Sunday. He says no safety is worth what Adams is asking, but I wouldn't trade him for less than 2 first-round picks, and Odell very clearly wanted out of New York. Oh, yeah. Odell was begging to get out of New York. I
don't think you're going to get 2 first-rounders for Jamal Adams because of the situation. Minka Fitzpatrick, they got 2 first-rounders because Minka wasn't saying, I want out of Miami.
Right.
He was playing, he played, he shut his mouth. They got the most. When a player openly admits, I'm not going to be here, and, I'm going to leave, I'm not going to sign a long-term deal, you're going to get a compensatory pick for me, you're going to get what you can get. That's it. The Giants got more of a Beckham because they signed him long-term, and that knew that the team that he was going to had control of him for the next 4 years. Jamal Adams don't even have that. They trade him. He could go somewhere else. If they trade him to Dallas, there's no telling that Dallas is going to keep him long term. He may say, to hell with this, I don't want here either. So Dallas is going to be like, we're going to give you 2 first-round picks for a guy that may walk out the door in a couple seasons.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams has the Jets in a bad spot there. I don't think you get 2 first-rounders.
No, I don't think you
get a first-rounder. You could get a first-rounder from
you'll definitely get a first.
San Francisco.
I don't know if this is official, Baddog. I read a rumor, and maybe I'm wrong. I read a rumor that there was an offer that the Jets turned down from the Cowboys, and maybe it's false. It's what I read. They offered a first, a fifth, and Michael Gallup, and the Jets turned it down. So I think they would definitely get offered a first, but I was surprised if that was a real offer. I'm a little surprised Jets turned that down because that's a young receiver with a lot of talent. I like Michael Gallup. A first-round pick and a fifth-round pick. I don't think you're going to do much better than that.
No, that'd be foolish for the Jets to turn that down.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, they're the Jets.
Blue collar, man.
A lot of bright things over there.
Blue collar, thanks so much for love, man. NFL players need their own union separate of quarterbacks. Well, yeah, that's why I was thinking it may get approved, because if you were to lower what the quarterback gets paid, that means everybody else makes more. So I don't know, but I don't think it'll ever happen because the quarterbacks are the money makers, like you said. Those are the guys that people tune in for. And we got time, man. Thanks for love, man. What's going on, guys? How's everything been? Hope all is well. And us as usual, I'm a couple of beers. Of course, you're a couple of beers in. Hope you're doing well, man.
Of course.
And
we got time if he wasn't a couple.
And we got time. I know I've told you I'd have you on the channel. If you want to come on this week, actually, I got room for one more guy, and we got time. If you want to come on Sunday, if you're free, I'm having subscribers on the channel. You're more than welcome to pop on Sunday. If you want to come on, just let me know after the stream. Put it in the comments. Don't put it now, and I'll reach out to you. Let's see what we got here. Jets wanted Collins in a fourth for Jamal. Okay, is that what it was? The MLA Sports MC? Okay, yeah. Okay, maybe that's what it was. What's going on, Fun with Education? Mims and Becton both overrated. I don't know if Becton's overrated. I think he's a guy that he could be great. He could be really bad. He was the risk.
Boomer bust.
Yeah, he's a boomer bust. But where the Jets got him, it was fine. Oh, they got him at 11. He was the third offensive lineman off the board. So I can't get on him for that. I thought that was a good spot to take him. They got Mims in the late second round. I thought the Jets did well, if I'm being honest, this offseason. I don't like to rag on the Jets. I know you do, but I think this offseason, the Jets had a good offseason. I think they did well in free agency, and I think they did well in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with the Becton, but I don't know how they're overrated. I don't know where guys are rating these players. I do think that Jets fans are a little too high on Denzel Mims.
Yeah.
And I say this for the simple fact that I'm a big, I'm a Sooners fan, and I watch a ton of Big 12 football. And as I've said a number of times, Big 12 receivers don't usually pan out unless they're, have skill sets like CeeDee Lamb. I think CeeDee Lamb will be very good in the NFL. Des Bryant, for the simple fact that they go against the weakest secondaries in the Power 5, and it's not close. Oklahoma Sooners cornerbacks are not getting drafted in the first 2 rounds. TCU cornerbacks, Texas cornerbacks, Kansas State, Kansas, they're not coming out. These guys aren't getting drafted in the first or second round. There's a reason for that. They're terrible. Parnell Motley is awful. You know what I mean? This is the type of guy. This is why guys like Josh Doxson failed, Corey Coleman's failed. Now, Coleman's had a lot of injury problems. That's why I'm not high on Jalen Reagor. Much like quarterbacks that come out of certain schools I don't like, you got to prove me wrong before I'm going to be a believer in you. Denzel Mims is a big-bodied guy. Granted, Baylor didn't have the best quarterbacks, or I can't even think of their damn quarterback right now for some reason. But again, it's not like he's ultra fast. Poor man's Chase Claypool, maybe. We'll see what Denzel Mims does. He's a big target, but
I thought they got good value.
Don't expect too much from him. Be pleasantly surprised if he does produce, but don't expect this guy to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah, where's my sports expert? There's your member shout out. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Thank you for being a great member. Trey Tomlinson for a third rounder. We have depth at the position with BJ Hill and McIntosh. Yeah, Breeze. I mean, I love Dalvin Tomlinson. I've been on record as saying that if they're not doing well this year, that's one of the spots where I look to make a trade, whether it's Leonard Williams or whether it's him. I did a video on it. And it's who's ever the more attractive option, and Tomlinson might be the more attractive option due to the fact that he makes nothing. Leo Williams makes a lot, even though it's still only a 1-year deal. So that'll be interesting. I do think that he's a player that could potentially be traded this year if the Giants don't plan on keeping him. But the question is, what could you get? If you're only going to get a 5th round pick, you're better off keeping him and getting a comp pick.
Yep.
So that's what it's going to come down to. If the Giants get over to 3rd, yeah, maybe you make that move if you're out of it.
I see my man Afghanistan says Parnell Motley is a star in the making. Everybody that's been in my Sooner streams, Jedi always talked about this, knows I freaking hated Parnell Motley. Holy cow, he sucked. God, he was bad. Reminded me a lot of Trevin Wade. Yep. J. Ron Hosley. That's how Parnell Motley is. At a college level, he was that bad.
Have a great stream, guys. I'm heading out. Jawad, man, have a great night. Jawad's a great subscriber. Thank you so much for being here. Nikki with a question says, what team do you think we can upset this season? Okay, I've talked about this before, and I'm not going to talk about a weak upset. If I'm going to come up with an upset, I'm going to come with a big one. I'm not going to give you the Browns, even though that'd be a pretty big upset. I'm not going to give you the Cardinals. I actually think we got a chance to beat the Cardinals. I'm going to give you the Bucks. I've said I think the Bucks are of the big teams that we play, the 4 big teams, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Bucks, and the Niners. I think the Bucks are our best opportunity due to the fact that I think the Bucks have to travel the week before. The Giants have an extra 4 days to prepare because they're playing on Thursday night the week before against the Eagles. That's a game that I could see an upset. I could see the Giants putting up some points in that team. If I had to pick a big upset this year, that's the one I'm going with, the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Well, I mean, we saw what Daniel Jones did to him last year without Saquon Barkley, for about half of the game. And when Barkley went down, we were way behind. So, yes, William Gay missed the kicks, but the fact of the matter is Daniel Jones had an enormous game against Tampa. I mean, I don't know what's more of an upset. I mean, listen, Jimmy Garoppolo is not good in my opinion. I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he stinks. I worry more about San Francisco's defense than anything else. But I mean, there's a possibility that the Giants defense keeps us in that game. Now, George Kittle is going to be but this is why I like Darnay Holmes and McKinney, because I think that they can definitely they're not going to completely shut down Kittle, but they may be able to neutralize him enough. The running game is pretty solid. But again, I'm not sold. I am not sold on Garoppolo. I don't like their offense that much at all. Outside of Kittle, Deebo Samuel's really good. I mean, I like
Deebo Samuel. He's a nice player.
Garoppolo is the guy. I'm not sold on Garoppolo. And I think if the Giants mix up a lot of defenses, it can confuse Garoppolo. Joe Judge knows about Garoppolo. Who's to say
I'll tell you what,
figure out a game plan and the Niners overlook this horrible team that they're playing going in, and we sneak out a win against the Niners.
I didn't think about that till you said that. Not just Joe Judge. Our quarterback coach was his quarterback coach.
Right.
So how about that connection right there? He was the guy that taught him initially. Maybe he knows something about ground. Who knows? Plus, they're traveling across the country. Plus, their biggest strength, in my opinion, at least on offense, is definitely that scheme running offense that they have there. Giants' biggest strength on defense, stopping the run.
Yep.
Maybe that's not such a bad pick.
Yeah.
And we got time, man. Thanks so much for plus the Super Bowl hangover, we hope. And we got time, man. Thanks so much for the love, man. He says, Baddog hurt my heart bringing up Claypool just now. I know that you were a huge Claypool fan.
Sorry, buddy.
Let's see what we got here. Did you guys see Kyler Murray already on the players list top 100? Do you think DJ makes it?
Yes.
You think DJ's going to make the top 100?
Yep.
I don't.
Well, no,
I'm not saying if you
would going to be a top 100 player because that's the media. No. Daniel Jones threw over 32 touchdowns, 13 picks.
No. He means that going into this year, they're starting to come out with the top 100 list.
Oh, hell no. Oh, God, no. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, he won't. Not. I'd be shocked if
he won't make it.
Yeah,
he'd have been behind Kyler Murray if he made it.
I don't think
Kyler Murray didn't have a better year, but the media likes Kyler Murray. They don't like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and I know you're a huge Kyler Murray guy. He doesn't belong in the top 100 either.
No, he doesn't win a rookie of the year.
Yeah, but I would be very surprised if Daniel Jones is on the top 100. I think Barkley definitely will be. Outside of him, maybe Bradbury. That's about it. I don't really think any of the other Giants. We've had injuries last year. Barkley might not. Well, Barkley has to make it, but he was hurt last year. But he's got to make it. Yeah, I would say Barkley and maybe Bradbury.
Yeah, we're not gonna. When you win 4 games,
yeah,
you usually don't have a lot of top 100 players.
Yeah.
So,
let's see what we got here. DJ is the most to prove. Yeah, I mean, I think DJ could make it next year. Tana, can we address the impact Carter Coughlin can have on the defense as an edge rusher that can also cover? Listen, LeVar, he's one of my favorite players that the Giants drafted this year in terms of value in the 7th round. We'll see. Carter Coughlin, I mean, he had the 3rd highest PFF grade, I think, ever for a Big Ten defensive pass rusher in the history. Maybe not ever, but he was right up there with Chase Young. I think Chase Young was 2nd, and Carter Coughlin was 3rd in terms of an individual year in 2018. Seems to be a scheme player that fits this scheme. That's why the New York Giants drafted him. We'll see. We'll see if he gets the opportunity, too. We got to wait and see if Marcus Golden comes back on that tender. If Golden's back, which we could have talked about that, but that's still 3 weeks away till the 22nd when we find out about that. But if Golden's back, it's going to be hard for Carter Coughlin to get on the football field because you look at Fackrell, you look at Golden, you look at Zimenez, you look at Lorenzo Carter. He's kind of, he's far back on the depth chart, but you never know. I mean, I think Joe Judge is going to be the type of guy where the best guys are going to play. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard for him to really carve out a role if we bring Marcus Golden back. If Golden wasn't back, I think Coughlin will get some playing time.
Coughlin will really, really have to turn heads in the training camp to get playing time because Darius Slayton struggled his first week there. He got chewed out, and then he immediately showed his resolve and his professionalism. Didn't throw a fit, didn't go to Twitter, didn't do anything, didn't pout, didn't cry. Dude came back and worked his ass off and learned the stuff and had a huge season. And even with all that, the only reason he cracked the lineup was because of injuries. So I think Coughlin, he seems like he's a pretty good talent. Like Chris said, he's a great value in the 7th round, but there's a lot of linebackers here with the Giants, and he's far down in the pecking order. So he'd really have to have an amazingly impressive training camp, and I think he'd also have to get in there because somebody inevitably goes down with injury, and it happens to every football team. So I think we brought in there for depth. I don't know how much of an impact he'll make in 2020.
Yeah, I think if Golden doesn't come back, I think he'll definitely have a role,
especially Golden coming back, right?
Yeah, but if Golden comes back, I think it's gonna be tough for him to get a role with that, like you said, without injuries. Blue Collar, man, thanks so much for the love, man. Beat the 49ers unless they go get a B. Where are you on Gordon? Even if we have a losing record, take them against the spread and make some bread. I'm assuming you're talking about the New York Giants versus the 49ers. Take the Giants with the spread. Yeah, I mean, that will definitely be a big spread. The Niners coming in, obviously, up a Super Bowl appearance. Yeah, I mean, the fact that the Giants are at home, I would guess. I mean, obviously, we don't know how the Giants and Niners are going to play the first 2 weeks, but right now, I guess that's probably an 8.5 point spread, maybe in favor of the Niners, being that it's in New York.
Oh God, I'd make it even higher. I bet you it's like 10 or 12.5.
Maybe 10. I don't think. I mean, it's on the roll. Maybe 12. I'll say 8.5, 9, but maybe 10, 11. It's going to be a big spread, no doubt about it. Where are we on Gordon? I mean, we both talked about it at the top of the show. Of the potential, known free agent wide receivers that the Giants could bring in: Josh Gordon, Martavis Bryant, Dez Bryant, if you want to throw him in there. Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
I think Josh Gordon is the most realistic. He's got ties to Judge. You would throw him away if he didn't do well with his track record in terms of drugs and everything else. You don't really have much of a commitment there. And he's not known as a bad locker room guy. A guy like Dez Bryant, who's kind of been in distraction before. Antonio Brown's been a distraction. He's kind of a guy that just does damage to himself. And Gordon's got a higher upside than Dez Bryant at this point in his career. Dez Bryant hasn't played in 2 years. He suffered a bad injury. Yeah, and he's older. So if they were going to bring in a guy, I think Gordon makes the most sense. I personally don't think they're going to, though.
I don't either.
Yeah, but thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. I'm not a fan of Garoppolo. I could see the 49ers. Yeah, I mean, Sean, listen. Super Bowl hangover. It's called the Super Bowl hangover for a reason. Well, let's go over the last, 5 teams that lost. The Falcons regressed mightily. The Rams regressed. They regressed the next year.
Regressed, even though they made the playoffs, but they regressed big time.
Yeah, usually you do regress when you lose the Super Bowl. That's usually the way it works, unless you're New England. Joseph Clark.
They don't ever regress.
Yeah. Joseph Clark, man, thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate it. He says, here's to the 2 very best Giants YouTubers. Man, Joe, man, thank you so much, man. I see you comment on all my videos, so I really appreciate the support,
appreciate it, man.
Tana, can the Giants go 10-6? KP, they would need everything to break right. Realistically, no. But is it possible? Yeah, it's football. But I'm not going into the year with those expectations.
C4 Taylor says, sorry for being late, yo, Baddog. I saw you in the EDP stream. Unless it wasn't you. No, that was me. That was me. I swung by an EDP streamer. I was trying. I'm not going to super chat EDP. EDP gets enough bread, my God. But yeah, I thought about it because I said, EDP, everybody wants you to come on a channel. Because somebody actually asked him in a question, who would you want to collab with? And I was like, you want to collab with me? He just said, I'll press it over. But that's EDP wants to collab with the bad thing.
I wouldn't. He's gonna, if he's like we've said before, if he's gonna collab with guys with like.
He ain't collabing with me.
Yeah, he's collabing with million subscriber guys. Can you guys talk about the division opponent offensive line this upcoming year? There's a lot of turnover. Yeah, the Cowboys obviously will have to wait and see what they do. They drafted the center that we wanted. They jumped up and they got him. We'll see if he's their center. That's really the turnover there. Outside of that, they still pretty much have the same offensive line in terms of Tyron Smith and everybody else. So they're still, in my opinion, the best offensive line in the division. Yeah. The Eagles still have a very good offensive line, but Graham's out now. So we'll see if they go out and they bring in somebody via free agency or a trade. But that definitely puts a big hit on their offense.
Brandon Brooks' loss was huge for them. That's a big loss.
Yeah. And the Redskins, well,
their line isn't really good. Trent Williams is – I don't even know what the deal is with Trent Williams.
No, isn't he gone? Trent Williams is gone.
Yeah, I don't think he's there.
So there's a lot of
– the line isn't very good either.
Yeah. So
defensive line is good. Their offensive line isn't.
Yeah. I think all four teams have a pretty strong defensive line. I still got to say the Cowboys 1, Eagles 2, Giants 3, Redskins 4 on the offensive line. But I think the Giants are trending up. I think the Eagles are definitely trending down. They're an older team with no cap space. I think by next year, the Giants could very well have the second best offensive line in the division. And maybe the year after that, have the best offensive line in the division and have it for a very long time.
That's what we're hoping.
Because they have a young O-line.
Dallas drafted all those linemen and signed the long-term deals. And you're hoping Andrew Thomas, Matt Peart, and Shane Lemieux pan out. And you can sign them to long-term deals. And bang, you got your foundation for the next 5-6 years with your quarterback. That's what you're hoping.
Yeah. Are we having football 100%? No, you can't say that. I mean, right now they're saying that, but there's no way you could say that. We're not having basketball or baseball 100%. Things could change in 2 weeks. We hope.
Yeah.
We hope.
Learning out sports is better. Who's your favorite CNS member to trash talk back into? Oh God, I used to destroy the CNS. Probably Simus. Simus and I were. I mean, that was fun. Like Simus could. I like being able to trash talk guys that could trash talk back. Simus could trash talk back. Simus and I would, for like a year, we just went back in videos in the comment section. Like it was war. I only trash talk J-Wad once. Like J-Wad was my favorite. I love J-Wad. J-Wad's a big reason I started doing videos. Mosh, obviously, but I ran Mosh over like a freaking steamroller. I mean, that guy was no resistance for me. Ficolette, Big Daddy Caesar, I crushed those guys. Spartan, I crushed those guys. So, yeah, I'd say Simus was my favorite.
Yeah, well, there you go, Simus.
Chris ain't going back that far. That's
I know Simus.
12 years ago that was. So Chris was in a bar. He was 22.
I was just starting to
drink. Man.
Yeah.
I was already married and had, I was already in my 30s at that point.
Let's see what we got here. They closed bars again here in Florida. Yeah, I know, Meat. They started doing that. No, I will not join the TTC. Let's see. How do you
join the TTC? Easy. Attack somebody that's in it if it's still even around. It's pretty much defunct.
Yeah.
You ever watch some of the guys that claim they're in the TTC? They are god awful at talking. Holy shit, do they suck? I'm sitting there going, this is. No wonder I left it. It's awful. Like they don't know what the hell they're doing. They can't talk trash.
Yeah. Trent Williams was traded. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Nikki. Yeah, I knew he was gone. He got traded to San Francisco. Trent Williams. Yeah. Who do you think has a better career, Zoe or X? That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
It's too hard right now to answer that. I think Zoe has higher upside, but Zimenez had a really encouraging rookie season. So Lorenzo Carter's an athletic freak. If this coaching staff might be able to get it out of him, but I like both those players. But I'll give you that answer after this year. I got to evaluate both of them more.
That is tough. I would say Lorenzo Carter just because, my boy Uncle Lou is a Georgia fan. I asked him about Carter. He said he's a 7. The guy could be a 10. So I'm just going, just pretty much strictly on Uncle Lou saying that Lorenzo Carter could be a star linebacker in this league. If anybody was going to know, it was going to be him. And Zeman had a nice rookie season, but so did Lorenzo Carter. They're similar players. They're both very athletic. They're very quick. They're very, strong. I don't know. I'm just going to go with Lorenzo Carter because, like I said, I guess I just know more about him than I do Zemenis.
No. Do you guys think Baker from Alphabet, Dillard or Thomas, real quick? I mean, I'm going Thomas. I like Dillard. I wanted the Giants to draft Dillard last year, but I'm going Thomas, definitely. Alphabet says, do you guys think Baker will pan out in the long term? Again, ask me after this year. I have to see a lot of maturing from DeAndre Baker before I'm willing to say that. I was a big DeAndre Baker fan going into last year. I was very happy when they drafted him. But last year was incredibly disappointing. The things that came out, falling asleep in meetings. You saw the red flags now of him coming out of college that I didn't hear about during the draft process. He's got a reputation. He put himself in a bad situation this offseason. This is really a make or break year for him. So that's tough, man. I got to see a lot more maturing from DeAndre Baker before I'm willing to say that I'm definitely bought into DeAndre Baker. But he has the talent.
Yeah, if DeAndre Baker puts in the work, he's going to be a good player. He's going to be a very good player. It's all a mindset with DeAndre Baker. The talent's there. But in the NFL, it's not just your talent. Everybody's talented at that level, man. It's between the ears. It's your work ethic. These are the best of the best. I know the SEC is the toughest conference. And I know DeAndre Baker was playing against Jerry Jeudy. And I understand DeAndre Baker, played against some really good receivers at LSU. I get that. But the fact of the matter is, in the NFL, like I said, these are the best of the best. Oh. So – and the offensive schemes are much more complex. That the speed is much faster. The quarterbacks are much better as well. And they're fitting it in tight windows. The velocity is better. So it's a step up. You got to work. You can't just rest on your laurels that I was a good college player. I mean, we've seen so many college players that are supposed to come out and be the next superstars, and they're complete and utter busts. So it's all about work ethic at this point. DeAndre Baker works hard, straightens out, says, I was an embarrassment last year. If DeAndre Baker wants to be a good NFL player, he will be. But if he doesn't, if he chooses to take the shortcut route again, and he doesn't care, and he's blase attitude, he'll suck.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah. And hopefully, thinking glass half full approach, hopefully this experience made him wake up. And he grows from it. He's still young. You make mistakes when you're younger, and hopefully he grows from it. And I do think this scheme fits his skill set perfectly. I think the scheme last year did not. I think that was a big reason why he struggled. He might have been frustrated that they didn't feel like they were using him the right way. No excuses. You got to go out there. You got to make plays. But, I think Baker could be, but I'm definitely not ready to commit to that.
No. Dire Giants fan, thanks for dropping my link in the chat, buddy. I appreciate it. Dire Giants fan's a man.
Yeah.
I'm that freaking guy.
Blue Collar says, is my post visible? Yes, it is. What quarterbacks came from Alabama or Oklahoma, Ohio State that was good? Well, Joe Namath came from Alabama off the top of my head.
Kenny Stabler.
But Mayfield was good in his rookie year out of Oklahoma. He hasn't been great since.
Troy Aikman was at Oklahoma, went to UCLA. He wasn't great either. He was on a great team. But I say that all the time. Florida's another one. There's no good quarterbacks come out of Florida. Tebow sucked. Chris Winkie sucked.
Yeah.
It happens. Alabama, nobody. A.J. McCarron's nobody. I can't even tell you anybody else. Oklahoma, Landry Jones is crap. Trevor Knight didn't even make it.
Yeah.
Sam Bradford was a huge bust.
But in fairness, Bradford had a lot of injuries, though.
Yeah, but still, he had injuries at Oklahoma, too. So, I mean –
see, I am not, and I completely get your mindset because there are certain colleges don't produce good quarterbacks. I just personally think it's the quarterback. I do not buy into that. I think there could be a good quarterback at schools that have not produced good quarterbacks in the past. But I get the mindset. And it is interesting to me that why is that? Is it because quarterbacks choose to go to other schools so they stand out more? Maybe there's certain schools that run a certain offense that fit their skill set better. A guy like Daniel Jones, maybe he saw an opportunity, even though he wasn't the highest recruit. But I think he got an offer by NC State, if I remember correctly. Maybe certain quarterbacks go to certain schools because they feel like they'll be better prepared for the NFL. Like Daniel Jones, he learned from Cutcliffe, one of the best quarterback minds in college football. I don't know what the factors are. But yeah, I really honestly don't think it has much to do with the school. I know some people point to that.
I think a lot of it might have to do with coaching. I think a lot of guys they may go there because it gives them the best chance to win a natty.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't. You could be a great quarterback, or like an average quarterback, but if you're going to Ohio State, you got a good chance to win a natty. You're going to Duke, you don't. You're going to NC State, you don't. You're going to North Carolina, you don't. You're going to Purdue, you don't. You're going to Cal, you don't. But you go to Alabama, got a good chance. Go to Oklahoma, you got a good chance. Go to Ohio State, you got a good chance. Go to Florida, well, back in the day, you had a good. Well, Florida's still pretty good. Go to Auburn, you got a good chance.
Right.
Cam came out of Auburn. Cam was really good.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of it. I think coaching and recruiting is, say, man, you're going to play here. You're going to be. Everybody's going to have eyes on you. You're going to be surrounded by NFL talent, and you can stand out there. And I think that has a lot to do with it. Because, again, when you are playing against weaker opponents, because the best college teams might have 4 or 5 guys, 6 guys go to the NFL.
Right.
The best.
Well, Alabama has more than that.
Well, maybe not on offense.
Oh, I thought you meant.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like,
you mean strictly on the offense.
Okay. Right. Ohio State had 6 guys on that offense.
Right.
When you get into the NFL, most of the times you're high pick, which means you're going to a terrible team, and everybody at the NFL level is an NFL player.
Right.
So I think that's a big reason that they don't pan out. On top of scheme, Urban Meyer's scheme is trash for the NFL.
Right. That is a big reason.
Right. So I think that has a lot to do with it. And even Nick Saban, I don't think Nick Saban's a quarterback whisperer. Now, I do think Tua will be very good at the NFL. That's the first Alabama quarterback I've given my endorsement to, but he's got to stay healthy. But I think Tua is ultra talented. I think Tua will succeed, which is why I think Miami's a dark horse for me in the AFC if he's healthy. I love Tua. I think Tua will be better than Joe Burrow if he stays healthy. Honestly, that's true.
I agree with that. If he stays healthy. But I think it's a huge risk that he won't. Blue Collar, man, thank you so much for love, man. I really appreciate that. I am a member, but I did not see my name with your logo. So I thought maybe I was blocked. Just checking. Maybe your logo is not working for me. Or maybe let me take a look back up. Yeah, you don't have it right now. Maybe your membership expired. I know that happens sometimes. I don't know how that works, Blue Collar. You might have to, if you want to, not telling you to, you might have to renew it. I don't know how that works. But maybe that's what happened. I honestly don't know. But yeah, right now you don't have it. I don't know why. But guys, we'll wrap it up in 10 minutes. We'll go a couple more minutes. But
I have it. Did I get a shout out?
Yeah, there you go, man. But thank you to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for all the love. Let's see what we got here. Would you commit a majority of your cap to re-signing Barkley and Jones? Again, way too early to say. Obviously we hope, and at the end of the day, you're not going to have a choice. If Daniel Jones becomes what we hope he becomes, yeah, and the same can be said for Saquon Barkley. You spent the number 2 overall pick on him. Yes, I think you have to. I think he's one of those players that when you commit that high of a pick to, he's too talented. He's the best player in the sport at his position, and he's not a knucklehead. He's a guy that you want to build the team around. He's a culture guy. He's a New York Giant. So, yeah, I know a lot of Giants fans might not agree with that, but when you make the investment that you do, to me, Saquon Barkley's a given if he stays healthy. He's getting a second contract with the New York Giants. Daniel Jones is not a given yet. Let's be fair. He's not a given yet. He's still only played 12 games in the sport. We got to see a lot more out of him. I think we'll see it, but we got to see it first. To me, Barkley's already a given. He's seeing that.
He would be getting twice as much as Saquon Barkley in a contract.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback. Our Giants fan says Afghanistan should have saw me and Baddog at the Jets-Giants game, went back and forth saying you the man at least 7 times. Afghanistan is the man. Afghanistan is always.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
I do 24-hour streams. Afghanistan's the first one in there, the last one to leave, and I always love Afghanistan. 48-hour stream, he says. Or he says, now what? After I finish 24, I'm on fumes. He sleeps less than me. But he's been with me forever, and I swear to God, he's related to me one way or the other. We have so much in common, and the fact that he don't sleep either, I'm convinced. Afghanistan is a brother from another mother for me.
Afghanistan's the man. He always shows us both so much love. Jersey Jake, I want to shout out. He's always in my Discord. Great subscriber. And Jesse Bryan, I did not do a giveaway today. I don't know if I said I was going to do it during the stream. I'm going to do it on Tuesday during my normal Q&A. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. You got to watch the video on Tuesday. I'm going to be announcing it. You're going to have to comment on the video. So there's a little sneak peek. Make sure you watch the video on Tuesday. If I have one, it might be Monday if I can't come up with a video on Tuesday. But yeah, it's going to be on Tuesday. I'm going to be doing a fitted hat.
Benjamin said your dad would disapprove of my shaving. Oh, he'll mention it. Don't say bad that you need to shave. Yes, I do. I swear to God, I did. When I do I might have been coming on here. Maybe it was yesterday when I'm not getting green, whatever it was, I saw myself. I go, I just shaved. Like, I swear to God, I just shaved the other day. Like, what is going on?
Yeah. What's going on, Sir Cardinal, man? Glad to see you in here, man. What's going on, buddy?
Sir Cardinal. That's another guy. Great guy.
And Chris, man, have a great night, man. Thank you for popping in the stream. Let's see what we got here. Who are your guys' top 5 cornerbacks? Oh, my God. Off the top of my head, I mean, I'd have to think about that. I know Jalen Ramsey's up there as much as I think he's a knucklehead.
Byron Jones has to be.
Byron Jones is probably in the top 5. I can't speak on the rookies.
They change so fast. Like, you have one guy that's great one year, and then all of a sudden he's terrible.
Oh, what's his name? Gilmore, right? He on the Patriots, right?
Yes, Gilmore's really good. Yep.
Yeah. Is Minkah Fitzpatrick a corner or a safety? I know he plays both.
Yeah,
he's playing.
I liking him in
yeah, he's playing mainly safety now. Yeah, I'd have to really look into things. Gilmore's definitely in there. Yeah, those are a couple names. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, White's another one. Tre'Davious White on the Bills. There's another one. He's really good. Former first-round pick for the Bills. Let's see what we got here. Lattimore's another really good one, Nate. Good call there. White from Buffalo. Yeah, White from Buffalo is really good. Let's see what we got here. Guys, Humphrey, what? There you go. Everybody shouted him out. I made a little bet with my friend for week 1. I got $30 on the Giants. W. Thoughts? I think they could win, Connor. I think they could win. I think it's close to a 50-50 game because it's at home.
We gonna win that game.
Yeah, I think we could win that game.
Big Ben ain't gonna be healthy. We're gonna win.
What's up? We're closing this out in like 2 minutes, but I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here. Everybody that hung out, dropped the thumbs up, watched the stream. Thank you guys for being the best supporters on YouTube. Could never say it enough. You guys are incredible. I'll be back live in 2 nights. We're going to be doing the subscriber live stream. But thank you guys. Thank you to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Scott, that's right. I got to do this. I promised them. I got to do it. The chair spin. I don't do the Wii. I'll do a chair spin for you. Hold on. There you go. Whee! He'll do it. I'll do 3. there you go. Oh, almost knocked over my camera. So there you go, Benjamin. There's the chair spin. And he did the Wii for me. I appreciate that. Pumpkin. Oh, Pumpkin Man. What's up, Pumpkin Man? Have a great night. Jay, have a great night.
Another guy. It don't matter when the hell I'm doing it. He's there. But member, vice president of the 420 Club, along with Cushmaster.
But thank you to all you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Marjorie, great subscriber, both of ours. Giants Alliance, go over there, subscribe to him. Sir Cardinal, go over there, subscribe to him.
If you want
stand up, there's your stand up.
If you want playoff hockey, play-by-play, Sir Cardinal's your guy. That guy can call a hockey game like nobody's. Him and Hawk take hockey. Those are your guys.
Yeah, I can't do
those are your guys. Giants Alliance will be on my channel on Thursday with OGR Sports and Noah Cahill. So we're gonna have those guys on Thursday. Wednesday night, that is the night we're aiming for. Like I said, I'm just waiting for Law Nation. I'll have LB, Louis T, and Law Nation on the channel on Wednesday night, hopefully for NFC's Roundtable. And I'll be here just to bullshit with you guys tomorrow night because it's Saturday and I ain't got anything to do.
There you go. This was a good stream. I needed this. LA Lou, man, I mean, you're always in all of our streams, man. I appreciate it. And like you said, thank you. We say it every week. You guys are amazing. I can't wait till we have football. And the channel really gets going, and we got a lot, new content to talk about, and it's not that far away. Obviously we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Summer flies, man.
Yeah,
it flies by. That's gonna be here before you know it.
Yeah,
God, I'm gonna be busy at the end of July. Holy shit.
We all are. We all are.
That's why I want to get. Which is why I'm doing these collabs now. Like the NFC East Roundtable, this will be the last one until the season because I'm not. It's hard to find content creators for the Redskins.
Right.
And Cowboys.
And there's only so much we could talk about, right?
Right,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I do want to do this thing with the smaller Giants YouTubers, like the guys that I feel like need more exposure. I do want to do that once a week. So, I do plan on doing that until we get to the sports. I do want to do that once a week, Ryan, like you do with the subscribers.
Yeah.
I want to bring some smaller content creators on here so people get to know them and see the work that they put in because a lot of them deserve it. And it's hard to get started on YouTube, but these are guys that I respect. These are guys that work really hard. These are guys that know their stuff. So,
absolutely, man.
It'll be fun.
And Diehard, man, thank you so much for love, man. I really appreciate it. It says, great stream, guys. Can't wait till this team is good. My God, I know we can't wait.
Be amazing.
Oh,
I just can't wait to hang out with Dire Giants fan at the tailgate and drink a couple of cold ones with him.
All right, Joey. I got to give Joey Lutz a mod, by the way. I don't give out many. I got rid of all the mods. I don't know if Joe knew that. He's like one of my OGs. He was like one of my first 5 people in my stream. So
one of our cannoli brothers, right?
Joe gets a wrench. There you go. He says, I feel disrespected without the blue name. There you go. Now you got the blue name, Joey Lutz. But again,
man, I don't see Joey Musa anymore. Remember Joe Musa?
Yeah, Joey Musa.
Texas Liberty.
He's a Jets fan. But not Texas Liberty. But thank you guys again so much for all the love and all the support. And I'm gonna let Baddog close out like we always do.
Yeah, I mean, like Chris said, can't say it enough. I mean, this show, dead of summer, 0 to talk about, over 250 people in here. Support of this show is overwhelming. Like Dire Giants fan said, when the Giants are good and we're 7-2, we have 1,000 people in these shows. Yeah. And it's all because of you guys blowing it up, telling your friends, sharing the streams, watching, commenting, everything else. We couldn't do it without you. 84 episodes down now, and it continues to grow every week. So we really appreciate it. We could have never got to this far without you guys and girls. We appreciate the hell out of you. Channels are nothing without you. It's not. I say it all the time. You're the stars. We just host. But you're the stars. And on a night like tonight, you guys were the show. Just like last week. We relied on your questions because we didn't have a lot to talk about. So you guys have made the show. You guys are getting us through. You guys have always commented us, and you guys are getting us through this pandemic. We you're helping us out. But you guys are helping us out a lot more than you realize. So thank you for that. Texas Liberty's right there.
Texas Liberty.
There he is.
I don't know if that's him though. Didn't he have an icon? I feel like that could be a troll.
I did too, but who knows? I couldn't have got through because I got overzealous. I just saw the name.
Yeah, but thank you to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys are fantastic, and we love all you guys. We love everything that you guys do. We had 50 people in here for the majority of the stream tonight, and there's no news. There's literally no news right now. There hasn't been news for there's occasional news here and there, but not consistent news for since really 2 or 3 weeks after the draft. So you guys have been phenomenal, continuing to keep up with my content, with Bad Dog's content, continuing to watch the show, continuing to support us. And like I said, I can't wait and hope, that we have football this year because it is going to be a fun season to cover this football team. There's going to be so many storylines. And I just can't wait. I really can't wait. And I can't say nothing but thank you guys for all your love and support. I'm going to let Bad Dog close it out with his signature phrase.
Real quick, just so you know, if there is no football, for some reason it starts, it stops, whatever. Chris and I are not going away. We have actually discussed this, that we'd be doing it like a talk show, not just Giants, but like a talk show maybe 4 nights a week if there's no football.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have – obviously, this is tough, but we know football is coming, so we're just kind of getting through these months. But if there's no football, there would be nothing. There'd be really nothing to talk about. So we're not going away.
Yeah. That was discussed last week. Should have told you guys that. Yeah, if there's no football, which we hope there is, we're praying there is. But if there's not, we're gonna have, I guess, what you would kind of consider like a morning radio show where you kind of talk about everything, whether it's whatever.
It'll be at night, man.
Yeah, a night, but it kind of a loose sports related show where we talk about current events going around in the world and just have fun with the chat. We plan on doing that. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we have a lot of football to talk about.
Hopefully we have 2 Talking Giants shows a week, and hopefully every time we do it, we're talking about a W.
Yeah, exactly.
But so again, guys and girls, thank you so much for the support. Come join me tomorrow night live, 10 o'clock. Make sure you come back on Sunday to the Entertainers channel for I don't know when you're going. Like usually live 8:45, right? Somewhere.
8:45 will be live on Sunday. Yeah.
There you go. So Saturday night with the Bad Diggity Dizzle, Sunday night with the Entertainer talking Moss. And until then, guys, enjoy your Saturday. Thank you for everything. And for the Entertainer, it's the Bad Diggity Dizzle. We are gone. Peace.
Bavith, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Bavith.
Happy birthday.
All right.